Welcome to the house that Bud built.
Where Barry made his mark.
Where Bob continues to roll.
Welcome to the home where Superman lives. $142 All-Americans.
Game winning streak.
40 conference titles.
Count them. 7 national championships. There's only one.
Only one.
One Oklahoma.
This is Oklahoma football.
It is a festive Saturday in Norman, Oklahoma. It's homecoming, and it's a big game. What a colossal confrontation in the Big 12. We will have it for you right here on FSN. Number 5, Oklahoma. Number 11, Missouri. Oklahoma has won 16 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams. Well, hi again, everybody. Welcome to Kyocera College Football Saturday Kickoff. Alongside DeMarco Farr, I'm Mike Goldberg. Great matchups today on FSN, and then tomorrow, the first set of BCS rankings will be revealed.
Yeah, let me put the pencil down and get real serious, because this is where the teams get serious. The good teams separate themselves from the bad teams, where we separate hype from fiction and reality. You have to get it going. BCS polls come out. You got to impress. Last chance.
All right, who's going to impress today? Let's get right down to it. Our marquee matchup in the Big 12. Number 5, Oklahoma. Number 11, Missouri. Missouri is 5-0, but OU, DeMarco, 27-1 in conference home games since '99.
Yeah, the Sooners have flat owned Mizzou lately. The last time the Tigers won in Norman, LBJ was in office.
Well,
That's a long time.
LBJ is not in office today. The man in the office is a redshirt freshman quarterback named Sam Bradford. He has been pretty much perfect throughout the season. 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, engineering the 3rd highest scoring offense in the nation. So let's start to break down our game. Number 11, Mizzou. Number 5, Oklahoma. Now, Missouri's defense contained Nebraska. Utilizing the D-list, how do they contain Oklahoma today?
Well, I talked to Matt Eberflus, the Mizzou defensive coordinator, and he told me, so based on that, I created the D-list on how to stop Sam Bradford. So, first you have to keep him in long yardage situations, which means Mizzou is going to have to win on 1st and 2nd down with tackles for loss, get up the field and cause a wreck, keep him in 3rd and longs, blitz him and get after him. B, you got to create some pre-snap confusion, which means you're going to have to line up in one front in coverage, and at the snap, be something else. Line up in man, go to zone. Line up in man, go to zone with pressure. C, stop the run, the slay of the beast. Oklahoma is a running football team with a big offensive line and 3 good running backs. If you can't stop the run, forget about Sam Bradford. D, hit. Mizzou found the new gear defensively versus Nebraska, kept them out of the end zone. So that must travel to Nebraska if they're going to have a chance today. Sam Bradford, very calm, very cool, almost Tiger-like. He expects to make big plays, but you got to hit him. You can take it out of him with big hits.
Almost Tiger-like. You mean like the Missouri Tigers, who, of course, are led by their quarterback, Chase Daniel. We'll have much more on this game and Chase Daniel later in the show. Bottom of the hour. It's in the Big 12 Conference. It's number 5, Oklahoma. Number 11, Missouri. It's our showcase from Norman. Now, Gary Pinkel has done a great job with his Tiger offense. They are as dynamic as any in the nation, and it begins at the quarterback position. Chase Daniel has matured. He understands the system. He's thrown for over 300 yards in 7 of his last 8 games, but it helps when you've got great guys to throw the ball to, like that kid. Freshman wide receiver Jeremy Macklin. He leads the nation in all-purpose yards. And then the senior tight end Martin Rucker is the top tight end in the nation. So Daniel composed, Daniel doing the right things. Daniel DeMarco has a ton of weapons to work with.
Definitely. Besides being the most aptly named quarterback in the country, he is machine-like in his approach to an offense. He knows exactly what Mizzou wants to do with the football, and he knows what you're going to do against him. This is him last week versus Nebraska. Slight roll to his right, hits the tight end down the middle of the field. Looks great, but watch the free safety. He doesn't know if this is going to be a run play or a pass play. You guessed wrong. Daniel hits him in the end zone for a touchdown. You come to the second play. Rolling to his right now. He's reading safeties. He's watching the safeties to see what they do. They stay home. They stay on their men. I'll just take it deep. Look at the protection. Look at the offensive line. Zone blocking. They keep everyone off him, and he just lost it to the corner. Kind of a duck, but it got there. He's got good arm strength. Now, this is what makes him dangerous. He can pull it down and run it. He's one of the best runners in the country. Look, 4 wide receivers to the left. Nebraska covers it, but they forget about the last guy, the quarterback. Who's going to cover the quarterback? Now watch Chase Daniel. An arm tackle's not going to get you. He's one of the best at running through trash. Chase Daniel is machine-like at quarterback.
Chase Daniel hoping for a repeat performance of last week's career-high 401 yards against Nebraska. Number 5 OU, number 11 Mizzou, moments away. You are watching Kyocera College Football Saturday Kickoff.
Get it on. Let's go. Yeah.
Boomer Sooner will be booming today on homecoming. Oklahoma has dominated the last 4 meetings of these two teams. They are virtually unbeatable at home. Will today just be more of the same for the Sooners? Let's talk about our game 1 here on FSN. Missouri Tigers, DeMarco, though, will be playing without their leading rusher, Tony Temple. How will that affect Gary Pinkel's team?
It's going to hurt, but it's not going to kill the Missouri Tigers. They have so many running backs that have played this season that they can lose to Tony Temple and keep going. And besides that, their offensive line, the way they block in that spread scheme is just to spread you out, and they really take advantage of a 4-man line, which is what Oklahoma is going to throw at them. So any back there can get 4 yards a carry.
Speaking of Oklahoma, Bob Stoops, win or lose, always seems to have his team prepared the week after the Red River rivalry. In fact, he is 8-0 in the game following the Texas confrontation. But his team will be challenged today on homecoming, especially defensively.
Yeah, the challenge today for Oklahoma is you have to tackle well in space. Mizzou's game is to spread you out, get the ball out fast to their playmakers, and have them make a play. So Oklahoma, being athletically gifted, they all look the same from corner to defensive tackle. They're gifted, but they have to tackle well. This game's gone.
All right. Better performance, Chase Daniel or Sam Bradford?
I'm going to go with Chase Daniel running and throwing. Sam Bradford's just going to hand off and take what you get.
Today, it's one of the most important Big 12 games of the season. The undefeated Tigers of Missouri travel to Norman, Oklahoma to tackle Big 12 foe Oklahoma. Missouri QB Chase Daniel leads the high-powered Tiger offense.
Touchdown, Tigers!
Sooner sensation Sam Bradford is the top-rated QB in the nation.
Oklahoma turning up the heat.
It comes down to this. Can the Oklahoma defense stop this potent Missouri offense? Or will the Missouri defense silence the shock and awe of the Oklahoma Sooners?
Oh, mama, what a hit.
11th-ranked Missouri brings it to the 5th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners next on FSN.
It's homecoming weekend as the Sooners are back home for the first time in 4 weeks. College Football Saturday, all presented by Kyocera. And tonight, the 11th-ranked Missouri Tigers take on number 5 Oklahoma in a huge Big 12 showdown. Hi, everybody. Joel Myers alongside Gary Reasons, and welcome to the game of the week in college football. Not just the game of the weekend in the Big 12, but the entire nation. And it's a matchup of two red-hot quarterbacks. Try to tell me that Sam Bradford is a redshirt freshman. He's not playing like it. In fact, he comes in leading the nation in passing efficiency.
He's done a great job, Joel, running the offense for the Sooners. And with him in the controls, he's made this offense work. And what he does, he uses his running backs, he uses his tight ends and his receivers. The numbers he's put up are just tremendous for a young freshman. But overall, this is a very balanced offense for the Sooners. And what they do is they run the football very well.
Patrick, each of them 6.5 yards per.
And Alan Patrick, each of them 6.5 yards per carry and per attempt. They make that offense go. So it's a dual threat offense here for the Sooners.
Chase Daniel is trying to elevate Mizzou to an elite status that they have not seen since the 1960s. Dan Devine was the head coach, and is he ever hot? He comes into the game third in the nation in total offense.
Well, Chase Daniel also one of these guys who's playing at a very, very high level. Last week against Nebraska, over 400 yards passing in that football game, and guess what? He chipped in 72 yards on the ground, so he's a dual threat guy. He's a guy that's going to get it done on the ground as well. Hey, if he plays well here against the Sooners tonight, I think we're going to start talking about Chase Daniel for the Heisman Trophy.
Well, Oklahoma has seen this stage many, many times, and especially at home. Now, how does Mizzou handle the pressure? We'll find out over the next 3.5 hours. First, let's head downstairs, though, and join Emily Jones. Emily?
Well, guys, if you look at the numbers in this one, you've got to give the advantage to the Sooners. OU 50-2 under Bob Stoops here at Memorial Stadium, including a 26-1 mark in Big 12 play. Now, while the Sooners have been thriving in that category here at home, the Tigers have been struggling in that department on the road. Under Gary Pinkel, 0-6 versus top 25 teams. In fact, the last time the Tigers got a win over a ranked opponent on the road, up the road in Stillwater 10 years ago. Perhaps the Sooner State will smile on Mizzou once again. Those are the numbers, but you know what they say, guys? They don't play the games on paper, they play them on the field. And that's exactly what we're going to do when we come back right after a quick trip to LA to join Mike and DeMarco. We've got a great one from Norman.
Big one, Missouri and Oklahoma. The guys just talked offense. Let's talk defense here for a second. Is this the most challenging that they will see this year? Offense, Oklahoma and Missouri's offense.
I think it is for the Sooners because of what Mizzou does offensively. They spread you out, but they want to run the football. I talked to the OC, the offensive coordinator at Mizzou, Dave Christensen. He told me, look, OU doesn't get chopped in practice. We're going to chop them on Saturday, so I hope they're ready for it. If they're not, Mizzou can run away with this thing.
Thank you for the lingo, by the way.
Yeah.
OC, offensive coordinator. TT, text time. Text us now, 310-739-7149. DeMarco will have all the answers. You would be great at texting with that OC thing. They will be booming in Norman. It is homecoming. It's number 5 Oklahoma, number 11 Missouri. The kickoff is next.
If you like listening to Boomer Sooner, and Mike Goldberg just mentioned it, you're in the right place. FSN HD. And we are back in Norman, Oklahoma. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones. Beautiful night for football. It's also a very windy night, though. And Mizzou is going to have the football first, so we'll find out how it impacts their passing game. Well, Gary Pinkel is in his 7th season at Missouri with a record of 42-35. Well, he has definitely elevated the program. Now, is he going to take it to the next level? Be able to compete with Oklahoma and Texas on a yearly basis. Bring Mizzou back to the prominence that they once enjoyed under Dan Devine and before that Don Farrow. So they've moved up a notch. There's no doubt about that. Can they clear that hurdle, though, and compete on the same playing field with Bob Stoops and the Sooners? And nobody's been more dominant at Oklahoma, except for one person. And when you look at that home record, that one person, it's an easy one, Bud Wilkinson.
Yeah, Bud Wilkinson did a great job at Oklahoma, but Bob Stoops has put some consistency back into this program, and it has worked well. And obviously at home, they've done a great job here protecting this turf at Owen Field.
Yeah, both teams coming in with a great deal of momentum. And Stoops has never lost after beating Texas. So it's bad news for the Tigers and their fans. 8-0. And this is 9th season. Talked about the good weather, but the wind is sailing. Right now it's going to be working, Gary, into the face of the Tigers. You don't think it will impact, we talked about this earlier, their short passing game?
No, I think the short and intermediate passing game will not be affected for either team really in this football game. When you get some longer passes, especially going from the north to the south, which is which way the Tigers will be heading this way right now, that may be have an effect on their passing game.
One of the great stories for the Tigers this year is a redshirt freshman, a pioneer from Kirkwood High School in St. Louis, Jeremy Macklin. #1 in the nation in all-purpose yards. He's been better on punt returns, average-wise, than kick returns.
Yeah, but he's a guy that they get the ball in his hands. They feel like he can make a huge play anytime. He's got that special kind of capability.
Man, the senior from South Lake, Texas, the home of Chase Daniel. Well, he's in the maroon. Hartley, he'll kick it away, and the Big 12 South, the North, underway in Norman. And downwind. You saw Hartley hit, what, 65, 70 yards and warm up for a field goal.
No doubt. Had a strong leg and did a good job kicking that through the end zone and not allowing a return.
So that's one way to take Hartley or Megan Macklin right out of the return game. Chase Daniel, 5th in the nation in total offense last year. A couple of notches better coming in tonight. And when they talk to the coaches about this young man, they talk about his poise, his leadership, even more than his athletic ability.
Yeah, really, he is a guy that distributes really well in this football, in this offense, and he gets things done. He's a competitor, Joe.
Empty backfield to start. Little bubble screen, and taking is the tight end. Man, it's Martin Rucker coming from off the left side across the 25 for a gain to the 26-yard line. Well, Rucker, you'll see a lot of 82 and also 45. Chase Kaufman, the other tight end.
Yeah, our Kyocera starting offensive lineup here. You take a look at Chase Daniels, 3rd in the nation, total offense, 380 yards a game. They will spread it out as they're doing here, Joel. 5 receivers out. Chase Daniel, the only one in the backfield.
Tony Temple did not make the trip. An ankle injury. Going out to the running back. It's complete for a first down. That's Jimmy Jackson who gets the start instead of Tony Temple, who's got the ankle injury. He suffered that in the second quarter of the win over Nebraska. So the junior from Caruthersville, Missouri, has a 1st and 10. Defensively now, the Kyocera starting 11. And this group is sparked by the man on the end. 6 sacks, 9 tackles behind the line. Number 33, Austin English.
He's done a good job. He's going to need to be a factor tonight in this football game, putting pressure on Chase Daniel, not allowing him to have the time to throw. And they're going to challenge this OU secondary all night.
Well, Nick Harris, a free safety. There goes Jimmy Jackson. Not much available. Off the left side. Snared by Alonzo Dotson. Well, the defensive end, the senior from Leaf, Texas. Now, keys offensively, Gary, coming in.
Well, for Missouri, I think there's a couple of things this football game they need to do. They got to keep their quarterback clean. That means protect him in the pocket. And I think defensively, they've got to tackle the OU run game. We talked about Murray and Patrick in that game. And I think in the kick return game, they've got to get great field position. Use Jeremy Macklin in that phase to have help win some field position.
It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Daniel in trouble. And good footwork again. He's got some room to roam. Gets a block downfield. Doesn't use it to the inside, though. Goes out of bounds. Past the 35.
Well, you see the poise that he has back there, and he sees the field, and what he does, he makes great decisions with the football. Not going to put himself in harm's way by staying back there and allowing the defense to catch up with him. He's got enough mobility to make people miss and not throwing a ball down the field and perhaps get it intercepted. And go ahead and snap it one more time. Go to 3rd and medium here, and they're the leading the nation in 3rd down percentage, Joel.
They are number 1 at 59%, but Oklahoma is number 3 at stopping the opposition. So something's got to give. They're 25% defensively. They pick up the blitz over the middle, the completion, and it's William Franklin, and they say no. Here's a trap. He did not get it. Lost the ball and his helmet. The senior from Vashon High School in St. Louis. Tough grab on the low throw.
Oh, good coverage for Lewis Baker in on the contact there. You see the throw coming across here. Pretty hard throw. Probably should have caught that football, but he saw coming across the top DJ Wolf ready to lay some leather and decided to just couldn't hold on to the football.
Dominique Franks is going to be over to the far side for the Sooners. Reggie Smith, and that's because of the wind. And getting into it is Adam Crossett. Hit a good average last week. And Franks buried immediately. Good play downfield. And Missouri with special teams coverage. Brown, the first one on the play for the Tigers. So Oklahoma's going to have it deep in their own territory. And not a bad punt at all, considering it was going into the wind. Our Kyocera 11, Sam Bradford, redshirt freshman, native from the area. Alan Patrick get the start. We'll see a lot of DeMarco Murray. And they do have a sensational freshman running back in DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, I really think they've got to get their run game going here to just take it right at the Tiger defense, and got to have a blended style of offense to help Sam Bradford along here.
From the 27, the first possession of the game for the Sooners. Bradford out of the gun, and right away it's Iglesias for a good gain, making a miss, and he loses the football. Missouri's got it. Darnell Terrell falls calls on the football after the hit.
Well, in close and big games, what you have to do, you've got to make sure you have ball security, and the ball's going to come out from Joaquin Iglesias. It's a great play. Is set up very well by the Sooners on the outside. Look at Malcolm Kelly blocking outside here, and Joaquin goes inside, and just a strip there from the linebacker coming across on the play. Was that Brock Christopher coming across there? Makes that contact. I think it was, knocking the ball away. And good job coming. And when you get to the tackle spot, go ahead and make something happen there. And Missouri now back on offense in good field position.
And Missouri's got a very short field. It's at the Oklahoma 38. And it's been a quick strike offense. In the 31 scores this year, it's taken only 2 minutes and 20 seconds on average. Toss sweep. The running back collared from behind, but still is going to get a yard. So the Tigers are going to work with Earl Goldsmith this time. We saw Jimmy Jackson, not much available, and that's the team's speed defensively for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that's the strength of their defense is speed. And they use a lot of players out there, and they'll roll some folks through there. But their secondary has improved quite a bit. You take a look at Reggie Smith, number 3 out there as a cornerback. He's one of the best in the Big 12 Conference, and he's made some big plays. The Big 12 Player of the Week last week in the conference. So you've got guys in the secondary that can really move for the Sooners.
Only lost for the Sooners at Colorado. Fake the wideout and reverse. Want to go back that way, and it's the man he faked it to. It is complete. Alexander, a big playmaker out of Marlin, Texas. He's only a sophomore. Denario Alexander is another guy. When we talk about Macklin, Alexander's also a home run threat.
You know, this game for OU is all about matchups. You see people moving around here and how they're going to match up with these tight ends that they have in Chase Kaufman and Martin Rucker, and then they throw it out here to the outside, get the other folks in the action as well. Denario Alexander coming off of an injury, back on the lineup for Missouri.
Yeah, Mizzou just failed on a 3rd down. Good throw by Daniel. Calling out the blocking assignments. They should have blitzed from the safety. They'll back off now. Blitz is off the edge in the corner, and it's complete. Same man, but he's short. Down to the 29 goes Alexander on a tough catch.
Yeah, what a great hit by Curtis Lofton, the middle linebacker, doing a good job of just reacting on a throw. You're going to see Lofton from number 40 going to work straight downhill here, and you're going to come into your picture and bingo right there on the inside. Does not allow Denario Alexander to get that first down, and Lofton's done a decent job in there. Hasn't played great all season long, but he's been steady as a linebacker. He needs to make more plays in a passing game like that.
What about a quarterback draw? Daniel getting up and talking to the left guard in the center.
And they'll spread it out here, which is what they're doing, and what they like to do in this situation is put the ball in number 10's hands and let him get the yardage.
It'll be 4th and a yard. Plenty of room to run up the middle if he wants to go that way. Instead, downfield, it's complete. He's got the first down to William Franklin. So Chase Daniel is showing us all. We saw the footwork early and the arm strength.
Yeah, just a 3-man line, 3-man front for the Sooners that time. Not putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And when you look at the quarterback here, you see only 3 rushing for the Sooners. And Chase Daniel, the ability to throw the ball outside. Franklin gets in front of the corner, the deep safety back there. Lindy Holmes, who's in coverage. And you take a look at it on the far sideline. And good catch, good concentration there. It's a big first down now.
So an opportunity for points off a turnover for the Tigers. They keep Earl Goldsmith in the backfield. Now Daniel on first down. Fires to the tight end. It's complete to Kaufman. Boy, it's a bullet. It is a kill to him at the 5-yard line for a gain of about 7.
Yeah, and Chase Kaufman, he really comes into the picture, Joel, in this area of the field. Big tight end, body out there. Got 16 touchdowns in his career as a Missouri Tiger. And they like to work the ball to him when he gets down there. He's going to be down here. He's going to work down the field and just to do a stop route. And those defensive backs, you got Reggie Smith. He's undersized compared to him. Reggie's a big guy. He's about 6'2", 205, but not as big as Chase Kaufman as a target.
And it's going to be a timeout called. And all of a sudden the umpire comes running in. And they'll reset the play clock, in fact. So the umpire saw that the play clock had not been reset. It was all the way back down.
Yeah, and this is what Missouri's offense is. They call it a fastball offense. They never go to a huddle. They call the plays at the line of scrimmage. Chase Daniel executes down here to all these receivers. They're all looking at it. Take a look at their opportunities in the red zone. They've been pretty decent here. 3rd to Big 12 this season. Getting production out of their red zone.
Jackson on reverse. There's Macklin. He's in. Touchdown, Missouri. You could see it coming on the reverse. So the Tigers capitalize on the takeaway.
You take a look at Jeremy Macklin. He comes around on the end, and this is not something that's atypical to this offense. They have put the ball in Jeremy Macklin's hands in the run game well. Watch the left tackle on the block that he gets in the seal here. That's what makes it all work. You close it down on the backside, bingo, right inside. You take a nice block under there, and it's nice, easy turning around the corner for Jeremy Macklin.
Talk about all-purpose yardage, he leads the nation. Well, for the Tigers, he's second in catches, third in rushing, third in receiving yards. So he does a little bit of everything for this team. In for the point after now. It is Jeff Wolford, the junior from Overland Park, Missouri. On its way. And Missouri comes through with a short field. Only 38 yards, and they traveled it very quickly, mostly through the arm. Chase Daniel once again. It's the gadget that works. Macklin and the Tigers up by 7. Back along with DeMarco Murray, and well, Mizzou has quieted the homecoming crowd of 85,000 off a turnover. Early 7-0 lead.
That's exactly what you have to do. You got to turn those opportunities into points, and that's what Oklahoma did a year ago against Missouri. They turned 3 interceptions and 1 fumble into 17 points against the Tigers last season. So good job by them of converting when they had the opportunity.
And as you can see with Chase Daniel's comment about a reverse, well, they have so many things like that in their playbook. It's not out of the ordinary. Into the wind, a low line drive, little 1-iron, 2-iron, pinning Murray to the boundary, coming back the other way across the 30. The redshirt freshman takes it for good field position as they get into it. Out to the 35, no flags. We head down to Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, guys, you talk about the composure of Missouri quarterback Chase Daniel, and his coach Gary Pinkel will tell you the reason he's able to do that is because he's got it. And you know what he means by it? He says, you know what, a lot of guys can throw hard and run fast, but you know what, Chase Daniel's teammates would jump off a building for him. That's what it means to Gary Pinkel, guys.
Okay, Emily, and that's what we were mentioning, that whenever we talk to his offensive coordinator, Gary Pinkel, and Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, it's his poise, his leadership, the respect he has from his teammates, not just offense, but defense as well.
And it's just swagger. He's got that, and that's it. That's really what it is.
The 36, Bradford, little slip screen, going out to DeMarco Murray, and quite a pop on the outside for the Tigers. Let's head back now to Mike Goldberg and a Dr. Pepper game break. All right, Mike, so a bounce back kind of Saturday for the Trojans. Not exactly like they blasted Mike Stoops' Wildcats, so hammering it off the right side. It's Alan Patrick. And he's got it for only a couple. Brock Christopher, right before we had to hustle back to the studio with Mike Goldberg. Brock Christopher, and you'll see a lot of him all over the place. Number 34 with the big stick. Junior from Kearney, Missouri. A second season as a starter. It's a very active group. Not a physical group, but a quick group.
Yeah, they're going to be challenged tonight. I think they've got to tackle well in this football game against this running attack that Oklahoma poses out there for them.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Sooners. They hit 50% of the season. Their 3rd down tries. Missouri backs off. No, they don't. They bring the extra rusher. It's Brock Christopher. Bradford over the middle. It's Malcolm Kelly. And he's got a first down inside the 42 of the Tigers.
Now your big play, your money man, Malcolm Kelly, get the ball in his hands. They didn't do it a couple weeks back against Colorado, but they made an effort to get that to him. And to Texas last week, got some opportunities. And he's a big play guy, Joel. They need to put the ball in his hands, coming across the middle. This is a 3rd down conversion. He's the guy that young Sam Bradford needs to lean on here in key situations. He's thrown a lot to Iglesias, but I think they need to work Malcolm into the game plan quite a bit more.
Second team all Big 12 last year. Mizzou offsides, free down for Bradford. And it's a rifle out of the far side, complete for about 8 inside the 35. Iglesias, he's got a real talented threesome. Joaquin Iglesias, a junior from Killeen, Texas. Malcolm Kelly, another junior. Emmanuel Johnson, a junior from Gilmer, Texas.
It's a good solid bunch to throw to, no doubt about that.
Free safety William Moore, though, Gary, was offside. Now, do they decline it?
Offside. Defense, number 1, decline, 2nd down.
So they'll take the +3, lose the down. Instead of 1st and 5, it'll be 2nd and 2. And the keys for the Sooners.
I think they got to run the football. They need to use the Alan Patrick and also DeMarco Murray in the run game. And I think defensively, they've got to show tight coverage against the Missouri offense, the receivers that they put out there. And overall, I think that Oklahoma, with their bigger people on offense, they need to be more physical in this football game, and they can control the line of scrimmage.
And now Bob Stoops has said, wait a minute, you didn't ask for my opinion. I'll take the down back in the 5 yards. So forget about declining the penalty. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Sooners. Mizzou 37. 7-0 lead for the Tigers. We are just about halfway through the opening 15 minutes of play.
And count all the white shirts up here ready to take care of the run.
Bradford's got him at a power formation short side. Patrick, the man on his back, and quick and over after a gain of about 2.
Well, what Missouri does defensively, Joel, is they stun a lot. They put a lot of people in gaps, and they'll shoot the gaps. And they'll try to slant that line to the formation sometimes, so they can get some people getting penetration. But nothing happening here. The Oklahoma line doing a good job of matching up and making a little bit of a hole there for Patrick to get through there. So it brings up a 2nd and short.
Yeah, Mizzou has been tough early against the run. It's the pass that they've been victimized by. Bradford checks down as he looks at his 3. He's got 3 on the wide side, and that's where Patrick is headed. Takes a pop coming off the edge. It was Brock Christopher who got to him first.
Yeah, as a linebacker does a good job coming through there and making contact, but Christopher's got to lock up. Watch what I see on the left-hand side here. Number 34 come through there and just hit him just with his hat. You got to bring his arm. Got to wrap that guy up and have a tackle for loss there, but I think it stops him just short of the 1st down, or maybe they're going to measure it here. They're going to bring up a 3rd down and 3rd and short, perhaps.
Yeah, 3rd and about a yard. This drive for Oklahoma started back at their own 35. Converted on a big 3rd and 7. On a long pass play to Malcolm Kelly. They'll bring the chains, but it looks like they're almost a full yard shy. So Missouri undefeated in Big 12 play. Kansas right now the story in the Big 12 North. Colorado as well. Colorado playing later tonight. And it is good foot and a half shy.
And we talked to Bob Stoops this week about his offensive line, and you know them being physical and winning the line of scrimmage, and he wants to be able to run that football in key situations in a football game. And this is a 3rd and short. You want to be able to do that and have that offensive line take over. They've got, I think, the size advantage with the big guys on the offensive line here for Oklahoma. One of the biggest lines they've ever had.
Well, Hippolyte and Nicholas of Colorado, their underneath tackles, did a great job in the 2nd half. In fact, it worked the opposite as they kind of controlled the interior of the offensive line of Oklahoma. But it's a different story. Missouri finally put together a game defensively. It was against Nebraska, so take that into consideration. It's Patrick, and he's got the 1st down on a spin outside his left tackle to the 30.
We talked about his O-line, their responsibilities, and being physical up front.
Well, they move the chains, so it'll be 1st and 10.
It's obvious in pass protections if the quarterback isn't being rushed or bothered, the pocket isn't getting caved in on them, and then you see seams in the running game when you could see the holes develop and the seams that you're used to hitting. I don't care who the running back is, if you don't have seams in there, it's hard to make any yards. So you could usually tell by the kind of holes that are being created in the running game.
Shift the tight end. Missouri gives him a free snap. Bradford now out on the edge and breaking tackles. He'll get a 1st down and run out of bounds inside the 20. There's a flag out of the secondary though. And would there be a defensive holding call?
Yeah, might have been some contact down the field. It was past the 5-yard area where the receivers would have gone by, and if defense contacts him there, that could possibly be a call. But first and foremost, we saw defense offsides there, so Sam Bradford just running and getting the 1st down.
He's got the 1st down to the 19.
We have offside defense, holding number 48 offense, goes offset, replay 1st down.
So the offsetting penalties, a break for Mizzou, and the hold downfield. Well, they called it on 48, which doesn't exist. It's a linebacker for Oklahoma. So
I don't think that's going to be 48 out there, but I didn't see the hold. But nonetheless, it comes back here. So Oklahoma's going to snap the ball again, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for another shot at it here.
From the 30. 3 wide receivers set for Bradford. And a little slant. Malcolm Kelly. Pop, not down yet. You talked about wrapping up. You got an extra 2-3 yards after contact. after he got away from Pig Brown.
Yeah, you've got to make contact with these receivers, and Malcolm Kelly, one of the guys you certainly got to wrap up. He has got some great hands. Watch the catch that he makes. He makes it firmly with his hands and tucks it away, and he's a big receiver as well, so he's hard to bring down. 2 and 3 guys having to make contact on him to get him to the ground. Malcolm Kelly making a nice catch and some yards after the contact.
Actually, Witherspoon, not Brown, the weak side backer, but still takes it after he got hit to the 27 down to the 24. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Sooners, trying to tie things up. Early 7-0 lead for Missouri. Bradford, no pressure, plenty of pocket protection, and his back. Alan Patrick has it for a first down inside the 20. So he's put down to the 18. He was down. There was no whistle, but he was down on the ground initially, and I don't blame him. He fell on the man that was tackling him.
Falls on the man. He doesn't touch the ground. Perhaps
give it to Chris Brown on the catch.
Chris is just going to continue with the football here and go on down the field. See the contact. He spins around. He feels like he never touched. I guess they're going to stop the play and bring it spotted around the 18-yard line right there.
Yeah, right where he went down.
Yeah.
And now they called a touchdown. Bob Stoops and the Sooners have just tied it up. He did land on the man. He didn't hear a whistle on a smart play.
No whistle on the field. Players are talking about continue to the end of the play. And Missouri Tigers felt like they made a tackle here. Take a look. CBB makes contact with the ground. Chris Brown getting wrapped up there and pulled down.
Is the knee down?
Does the knee fall down anywhere? Yes, I think it does. Right back there.
It should be a challenge from Missouri.
Well, it should be reviewed nonetheless by the booth official upstairs. If it's not challenged, take a look at his right knee and his leg. I think they're going to see that Chris Brown perhaps is probably down at the 18-yard line.
We'll take a timeout. We already see the way it should go. That means it will probably stand as a touchdown. We'll come right back with 5:34 left in the first 15 minutes. Harry Pinkel working the 2 linesmen while we were away. The 2 linesmen, George Guzman and Tim Pedraza. As Gerald Wright, the referee. And it's kind of interesting because the linesman came in to spot it, so everybody relaxed. And I don't blame the running back, Chris Brown, at all. He didn't hear a whistle. He got up.
Gary Pinkel a little animated on the sideline over there. Obviously, in his eyes, the call going not the way he thought it should. And Bob Stoops will be happy to have this play hold up here. They've got to have inconclusive evidence or conclusive evidence that it would be overturned to go to the favor of the Tigers. And right now, the points are on the board. They'd have to take them off.
Yeah, it looked fairly clear before we went away. So obviously they're having problems in identifying whether or not he was down, but you be the judge.
Now we'll take one more look at it here. We got Chris Brown going to be tackled, and the ball does his leg or knee come down. You see right there, that's what I'm looking at. I think it's right at the grass, and wow.
Either that or incredible balance, Gary. And I know you have that kind of balance.
Yeah, all the time.
So they put it back at the 18. It kind of surprised us when all of a sudden we saw the hands go up for a touchdown.
Well, they still haven't ruled here. We're waiting on the referee to hear from the replay booth.
Now the decision is made. So it's coming down to Gerald Wright from upstairs. Our replay official is David Ames. And it could be a long night at this rate. So Missouri thinks they have a 7-0 lead. Well, will it be a point after try coming up now for Oklahoma with 5:34 left in the first? I agree with the fans completely. They just want a decision right now.
No, they want the points.
Well, they also want a decision.
They want the points. Yeah, they're trying to make sure this call is 100% correct. It's a big play in this ball game because it is 6 points that would be taken off the board for the Sooners if this play were to be reversed. It's not like you're just trying to get a first down or something here. We're going to have a chance to listen to it.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The player's knee was down at the 19-yard line. The first down, Oklahoma.
They must have been trying to find the right place to spot it.
I think you and I can get a job of that replay official. We'll take another look at it here. Good job. We're trying to find out where that ball should be spotted. There's the foot on, or excuse me, the leg on the ground. And that's around the 19-yard lines where they're going to spot it. So they take the 6 points off the boards, and the fans obviously aren't happy with that.
See, I thought that our first look was even more conclusive. The one we just saw. And that's the one we went to break with. So they'll put it back at the 19. It's going to be a first down for the Sooners on this drive that started back at their 35. have not been that efficient running the football. But Sam Bradford at the outset sharp once again. And in the red zone this year. Hard to believe they're just 8 out of the 12 teams of the Big 12.
Well, they got 26 opportunities, 22 times they put points on the board. They'd like to get more touchdowns and have missed a couple field goal opportunities too.
False start coming up. Bradford, by the way, 4 of 4, 37 yards.
71 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And big Trent Williams on the right side there. Get him started a little bit quick. But Bradford, as you said, Joel, 4 for 4 starting out here in this ball game. That's what he is. He's a very efficient, very smart quarterback. Gets the ball out quickly and gets it to his receivers. And that's what they like about him here at Oklahoma. And that's what got him to win this job as a quarterback.
On the young season, only 6 games in, 71%. That's his completion rate. With 237 yards a game, with 18 touchdowns and just 4 picks.
Yeah, that's a great ratio, 18 to 4 there. And he can maintain that for the rest of the year. He'll be happy with his production.
It's Kelly on the slant. Got away from the corner on that side. That was Bridges.
Yeah, I think Malcolm Kelly has a pair of the best hands in college football. There's no doubt about that. He concentrates on the football, and you can take a look at Malcolm Kelly looking inside at his quarterback, and he's just going to do a quick little skinny post here, a little slant route, and the ball's there on timing, and puts those hands out there, and they're like glue. He's got the stuff out there to pull that stuff in.
And as he turns around, the ball's already there.
You bet. The ball is there. Good timing by the quarterback, Bradford.
Malcolm Kelly, the forgotten man against Colorado, who was shut out that day, did not have a catch, only one this season. Bradford with heat coming behind Kelly. He still got it, and he's got it right at the first down marker. It should be 1st and goal. Yes, it will be inside the 9. 1st and goal, Sooners.
Well, survey by the quarterback here, looks to the right side real quick, then he comes back to Malcolm Kelly again. Another slant route. This ball's a little behind him, but he has enough presence to hold on to that football. Darnell Terrell, the cornerback, trying to stay with him and get him down on the ground, and he does, but it looks like that 1st and goal now inside the 10-yard line for the Sooners.
Sooners averaging 50 points a contest. They've yet to score better than 10. Gone to the first quarter here. Mizzou also among the top 10 in scoring. In fact, they're 11th. Not top 10, but 11th with 42 a contest. And a false start left side. You could see it.
I think we're going to have a defensive tackle into the neutral zone here. It looks like.
Well, left came up. Let's see if he was drawn. Yep, he was drawn off. Encroachment.
Offside. 99 defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Lorenzo Williams, nose tackle, the senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, right here in the Norman area.
And he's one of their better players, no doubt about that. Been out there a lot for that football team, and he's one of their captains too. So costly error to get that down inside the 5-yard line.
It's a long drive for the Sooners. 10th play coming up. It's inside the 5, 1st and goal. Marco Murray. He's only 6 even. Runs like he's about 6'3", 6'4", real straight up and down guy. Wants to cut it back. Instead, he'll stay over to the left side. And wrapped up by Ziggy Hood initially, the junior from Amarillo.
And that's good defensive line play that time by the Tigers across the front. Ziggy Hood, number 94, is going to come out here and work and get off the line of scrimmage and come off the block and make a tackle and just keep working to the football. Marco Murray trying to find a hole there, but the Tigers do a good job of bottling things up.
Bringing the power back now. Man, a power formation, in fact. Zaslaw, the fullback, will enter the game, the senior from Edmond, along with Alan Patrick. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 4. Oklahoma trying to tie things up on what would be a 65-yard drive. Over the middle, touchdown. Joaquin Iglesias.
Nice throw and catch this time by Sam Bradford. He's got Iglesias at the top of the screen. He's going to work across the back of the end zone here, and good shot. He clears the safety, and nice pinpoint pass by Sam Bradford to his leading wide receiver.
So it was Iglesias who coughed it up and gave the Tigers the football for a short field at the Sooners 38, and now he gets one back on his 2nd touchdown of the season. Point after Garrett Hartley. With 3:33 to play in the first quarter. It is all even. Iglesias on the catch, the junior from Killeen, Texas. But what about Bradford again? His 19th touchdown toss of the season. Better than 85,000 on hand in Norman. It's homecoming weekend. The Sooners all even with the Tigers of Missouri. Joaquin Iglesias on receiving end of the Sam Bradford toss. 64 yards on the drive, covering 12 plays. That's after Missouri had just taken a 7-0 lead. So we're all even. This battle of the Big 12 North and Big 12 South.
It's kind of a punch, counter-punch type of football game. Both offenses pretty potent. Going to put points up on the board, I think, tonight.
Macklin down the middle. Waiting for the kick from Garrett Hartley. And he's got a big wind at his back. You can see it knocks it right off the tee. We'll also see if Missouri is going to get, and they've got each tight end 1 reception so far. But Rucker leads all tight ends in the nation with 8 per contest. Kaufman led him in receiving last year with 53 catches.
It really surprised me to see Garrett Hartley put this actually through the goalpost with as much wind as behind him. It's gusting pretty heavily.
A little more than 3.5 left. And again, right over the head of Macklin. Time for a Dr. Pepper game break. And let's head back to the studio. Mike Goldberg, what's the latest?
Number 1 LSU, number 18 Kentucky are headed to overtime. Now, Lonis Sieber of Kentucky made back-to-back field goals to tie the game. And then on the last play of regulation, Colt David for LSU tried a 57-yard field goal. It was no good. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Woodson. This is what's happening. The number 1 team in the nation is headed to overtime.
All right, Mike, this whole season's upside down anyway. Will it be another bluegrass miracle? Chase Daniel out of the gun looking for Derek Washington, and he's going to be sacked. That's a covered sack.
You bet. Good job by the Sooners in the secondary, taking away every receiver out there for Chase Daniel. He has nowhere to throw the football, and good contained rush as well. Didn't open up a seam up there where he can actually come step up and make some yards with his feet. Take a look at Chase Daniel in the pocket and just push the pocket and close it. Good job up front there by Marcus Granger, just going straight to the quarterback, defeating his defensive tackle there and getting in there. Also, take a look at English on the outside. He's doing a great job putting pressure on the quarterback so far this season.
It was his 7th sack of the season. It's a loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Look one way, come back the other way. A little bubble screen action on the outside. Doesn't do anything with William Franklin, though. So now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Tigers as they get it back close to the original line, the 20. Now the first down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com. It is all about the O.
And you see the personnel coming in and on and off the field here for Missouri. They put a lot of different guys out there. Got too many on the field. We're going to call a penalty on that.
It is the illegal substitution for Missouri.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I just saw that doom from the start because they're trying to bring 3 and 4 people on the field to give them a different personnel group, and somebody didn't get the signal to get off in time.
Yeah, and especially you've got to punt into the wind now. If you have to punt this deep, it looks like Oklahoma should get it close to the midfield stripe. Penalties and turnovers doomed Missouri last year at home. They lost in Columbia to the Sooners 26-10, and on 4 turnovers, the Sooners got 17 points to their 26. And now it's going to be 3rd and about 15. Pocket holds up better for Chase Daniel. And it's going to be picked off. DJ Wolf has it at the 30. Off to the left side. Will they get him? Spun around and put down. And that's by Derek Washington, the running back. DJ Wolf. Couple of picks in the Colorado game and gets one early tonight.
Now DJ Wolf moved from the cornerback spot to the middle of the field at strong safety, and he's done a great job for the Sooners in the secondary this season. Just playing the middle of the field here right now as Chase Daniel trying to find an open receiver. Here's going to be Wolf on the left side. He's going to go underneath the receiver trying to get the ball deep, and he's not there. Can't get it to Jeremy Macklin. Excellent job by DJ Wolf making a play on the football.
Just mentioned turnovers, didn't I, Gary? And that's how Oklahoma accounted for so many points last year in Columbia. So they're going to have it at the Mizzou 16, 1st and 10, all tied at 7. I think Mizzou would take that punt right now.
Yes,
Minute 58 left in the first 15. It's Chris Brown in the backfield. Tight end is Gresham moving. And now a little gadget play on the toss to Iglesias. From DeMarco Murray. And he's put down just inside the 10 after a gain of 6, almost 7. It's a little razzle-dazzle to their own.
Yeah, that's what Missouri does sometimes. They kind of have a few gadget plays up their sleeves, and now you take a look at the Sooners doing the same thing here. Almost a double reverse here. Take it to the outside, bingo, pass, get it on back, and here's Joaquin coming around. Sam Bradford trying to get in the blocks as well. Christopher doing a good job of getting off the block. Load hold there. You see Brock Christopher, number 34, come in making a nice tackle in the open field.
Now short field, not much room on that double reverse. 2nd and 4 inside the Tigers 10. It'll be Brown running up the back of his own blocker. And put down at the 9. Coming off the outside. The weak side backer, Weatherspoon, had him around the ankle. So it's a key third down coming up for the Missouri defense. A win for them if they can hold them to a field goal attempt.
Yeah, that would certainly be a big lift to them. They played a great game against Nebraska a week ago defensively. Didn't allow a touchdown that football game. A couple of field goals for the Cornhuskers. Only allowed in that football game. They could stop the Sooners here. It'd be a big step in the right direction for them defensively.
Yeah, the three wideouts have joined. By Joe John Finley. They bunch 3, and now Finley the motion man. Bradford out of the gun on 3rd and 3. The delay over to the left side, room on the outside, but an open field tackle and a beauty by Pig Brown.
Yeah, Pig Brown, the strong safety, coming up making a nice play, and he's been a leader back there, Joel, for this defense in the secondary. He's a guy who's very vocal. He's very smart. You take a look at Pig here. He's just going to read the quarterback here and find out what's going on in the backfield, and plays up the line of scrimmage. He knows it's a run, and good inside-out leverage, and get a good firm tackle there on Chris Brown. Nice play in the backfield.
Yeah, Oklahoma's going to call a timeout. It's still a very short field goal, but they'll make a decision whether they hit the ball with Hartley, and they'll also keep it here with the wind at their back.
Yeah, and Pig Brown doing a good job there, and Bob Stoops trying to find the right combination of what they want to do here. Take the timeout and make a good decision. And it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, and probably ought to kick the field goal. And we talked to Pig, and he's a fun guy, Joe. And he's a guy that's gregarious. He keeps it light in practice, and we actually talked to him about calling him Pig Brown. His name is really Cornelius, and we asked him, how did you get your name, Pig?
Well, the nickname came when I was a little kid. I used to eat all the time. I was kind of sloppy. I was kind of chubby. And my mom, she just gave me that name. She said, you eat like one, you act like one, your style's like one, your habitat's like one, so I'm just going to call you Pig. And it's just stuck with me ever since I was a little kid.
Well, he's playing like a nice, strong safety. I don't know about the Pig, but his mom just tagged him that, and that's what he stayed with his whole life. And maybe he's changed some of those habits.
Well, they're going to hit it with the wind at the back of Hartley. They're not going to gamble on 4th at about 4.5, almost 5.
Yeah, Hartley, who was almost automatic a year ago, has not been so this season for the Sooners. Bob Stoops would certainly like to get that turned around.
4 of 6. He's got a 53-yarder. This is going to be a chip shot. A 28-yard attempt on its way, and it's down the middle. So points off a turnover on the interception by DJ Wolf. Garrett Hartley, the senior from Southlake, Texas, with the 3 and a 10-7 lead for the Sooners with 4 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think the Missouri probably has to feel pretty good about that, only coming away with 3 points damage there, and did a decent job making plays when they needed to stop for first downs, and I think they feel like they'd be able to come back and get something going here offensively when they get the football. A couple of turnovers in this ball game, and Missouri getting the 7 points, in Oklahoma with the field goal.
And both in the plus territory after the first half of the season. In fact, Oklahoma came in +4. Missouri came in +5 in the turnover ratio. I like what Bob Stoops did, though, thinking ahead. If I call the timeout, I get Hartley to hit it with the wind at his back. And then on the kick, I also get to take Macklin out of the return game again.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
He should. He's better.
Got to know those things. Got to watch, manage the clock, manage all parts of the football game, and the kicking game is critical.
Too often we don't see it, though. So Macklin waits back at about the goal line. Right now the Sooners 75 yards in the first 15 minutes of play compared to 53 from Mizzou. And Missouri would take that over the course of the game. 4 times 75. Not a bad job defensively. Macklin is going to bring it back from a yard in. Now a little crease over to the right side. Outside he goes past the 25 to the 30. Good yardage from Macklin. And the final play of the first quarter, a big return for one of the leaders in the nation in punt returns, but not kick returns. Only a 22-yard average. That time, almost 60 yards on the bring back for the Tigers. So we're through the first 15 minutes of play in a huge showdown between the number 5 team of the nation, the number 11 team of the nation. And Missouri trails by 3 as we'll be back after this one. Final snap or actual play of the first quarter. Jeremy Macklin, exceptional freshman, 56 yards on the return.
Yeah, did a great job here. He sets everybody up, turns it inside, and then he just takes the corner, Joe. He's got enough speed. Watch the Sooners just trail him behind. He wins around the corner. DJ Wolf can't catch him to get around the edge there. Jeremy Macklin, one of those special players that has a burst.
So a short field for Missouri. They've got him to 44. As they set up Jimmy Jackson to the backfield with Chase Daniel. Straight 4-man rush. Hit it out to Franklin. and make it Alexander. It's complete, but not much doing. In fact, no gain at all. It'll be 2nd and 10 to the 44. Emily Jones, what's the latest downstairs?
Well, guys, you were talking about Jeremy Maclin, and he suffered a season-ending knee injury before last season. He's come back with a vengeance. He came into this game leading the nation in all-purpose yards, 214 a game. The only player in the country to have at least 100 yards receiving, rushing, kickoff return, and punt return. Gary Pinkel says he can change the game with one play. We'll see if that one might do it.
Well, down by 3. Daniel in trouble and on his way down. The sack coming from the opposite side, Gerald McCoy. A redshirt freshman out of Oklahoma City, and a good job again downfield.
Well, only bringing 4 here on the quarterback here. Good job here by the Sooners of getting pressure, and McCoy just defeating the block inside and just making the play to the quarterback. And also in the secondary, you got good coverage by the secondary here, not allowing McCoy to find an open receiver. Now, he's not the biggest guy, Joel. They list him at 5'11", 6 foot, but not a real tall guy. So perhaps looking over that line, not spinning those guys is a problem tonight.
Yeah, that's Speaker and Llewellyn who've given up a couple of sacks early. So it's going to be 3rd and long. Daniel in trouble again. Man just wants to throw the ball away and throws it over the head of Kaufman. Wise decision this time.
Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for the Sooners, bringing pressure that time. That's what you have to do. You've got to decide on what you're going to do with your quarterback and go ahead and put pressure on him. There's Brent Venables on the sideline, and his troops doing a good job here against the Tigers, bringing up a 4th and long now. So got to credit a good deep job defensively, getting back to the quarterback, pressuring him. They've had a couple of sacks now on Chase Daniel.
Going back deep for the Sooners, it's going to be Dominic Franks along with Reggie Smith. Getting into it, crossing with the wind at his back, and a fair catch is called for. It'll be taken in by Franks right at about the 14. So Oklahoma a long field, but they've got it back, and they also have a 3-point lead. 13:35 left in the half. The Sooners on top of the Tigers. Early in the second quarter, we welcome you back to Norman, Oklahoma. Joel Myers along with Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, our Dr. Pepper Honor Roll star students this week. The punter for the Tigers already has his undergraduate degree. He's in the MBA program. And how about Sam Bradford, 2nd year at Oklahoma? He'll declare a major next year, but already a 4.0. So from the 14, Bradford, a little waggle action. He can run. Instead, he's got a wide open Joaquin Iglesias. Got behind the corner, Carl Geddes on that side, who got caught ball watching with the quarterback.
Well, Carl's a freshman out there, too. He's going to make some mistakes, and coming in here at a Norman, you can't do those things against Joaquin Iglesias. He's a big play receiver, and a little waggle pass here where to get the quarterback, Sam Bradford, out of the packet. This is an accurate throw. You see the ball tight over the cornerback, and Geddes just short, and safety over the top cannot get there. That's a big void to get to in 2 deep zone coverage, which is what the Tigers are playing.
So a pickup of 30 yards on the catch.
9 for 9.
Bradford.
Oh, he's hot.
That's the #1 quarterback in the nation in passing efficiency. 19 touchdowns over 4 interceptions. His 19th going to Iglesias earlier today. And on first down, pocket starting to collapse as he peels away. And the catch is made. Was he in bounds? They're going to say yes at the 39. So what a grab if it stands. Time now for a Dr. Pepper game break. We'll tell you when we come back. Let's go to Mike.
Hey, Joel, the #1 team in the nation is headed to a 2nd overtime in Lexington. LSU and Kentucky exchanged touchdowns in the first overtime. So the top ranking and the nation's longest winning streak remains on the line. 2nd overtime, LSU Kentucky just underway.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Well, not a very decisive move. Let's see if it was a catch for Oklahoma's Malcolm Kelly on the sideline.
Malcolm Kelly has made tremendous catches. He's smooth. He catches the football. Does he have control? He has control. He's got 1 foot in, it looks like, and then the ball knocked out out of bounds here.
Now, does he really have possession, though, as he drags the foot?
I think he does at the point of contact, and then it's knocked out.
It's going to be a booth review.
We're going to take a look at it here. But Kelly, when he uses his hands, he's caught several of those balls, Joel, that are below his waist, actually around his knees, and he just reaches down and grabs them. A lot of players actually crouch down and try to get those catches.
I think we need another timeout, don't
All
you?
right.
Another review. We'll do the same. See if the catch stands for Malcolm Kelly as we come back to Norman. Welcome back to Norman. Homecoming weekend with 85,000 plus on hand. And let's go downstairs to Gerald
After
Wright.
review, ruling on the field is reversed. The player did not control the ball. It'll be second down and 10, the 44-yard line of Oklahoma.
Well, the boos are deafening here. The fans not liking that. That's 2 calls now that have been reversed against Oklahoma. Plays called on the field, gone against them tonight. That ball not controlled by Malcolm Kelly as he goes to the sideline, and Bob Stoops a little incredulous there.
Well, the first one was a pretty easy call. This one was much tougher.
Take a look at here on the sideline. Does he have control of it? He's got the ball. He pulls it up. Does he actually control the football? Comes out there pretty quickly. And, Yeah, you would have called it one way and I would have called it the other. So one of those subjective things.
Glad we took a timeout. It's second and 10. Ball back at the 44 of Oklahoma. Play clock coming down on Bradford. He got it off with a second. And good touch. Had to get it over. The linebacker on that side. Off the fingertips of Finley, though. And actually was the end Chavis who had depth on the play.
And the end's getting out there with him. You got Joe John Finley on the left side here. And watch Chavis just going to come down the line of scrimmage and get his hand up. And that's what forced the quarterback to throw it up a little higher. He could have dropped it over there if the end had continued to rush up the field.
Well, the one by Kelly on the sideline, and this, which could have been caught. Those are the only 2 misses for Bradford. He's now 9 of 11 for 92 yards.
Yeah, now 3rd and 10 here. First 3rd and long here for Oklahoma to convert.
Bradford will operate out of the gun with Alan Patrick. Tight end on the right side going down the middle of the field. And instead, it's Manuel Johnson's first catch of the game. Big crease. Tight end brought some attention between the hash marks. And Manuel Johnson available.
Just a little separation there. You get him working up the seam. Manuel Johnson just going to be down here and going to run down and look right inside. And this defender's going to step inside here. He's going to allow the zone to come open there. And the quarterback finds him nicely right there outside the hash mark. Sam Bradford steps into the throw. And good job of putting it out there to his receiver.
Out of the reach of William Moore, the free safety. So first down to the 35 of the catch by Johnson. Press coverage on Malcolm Kelly to back off on the high side, the wide side of the field. Bradford well behind Kelly, who still almost came up with it. At the 21, it'll fall incomplete. That was his first poorly thrown pass.
He's been pretty much on target. You know, the young man's played very well at the quarterback spot. And this ball thrown behind Malcolm Kelly. And Kelly's been making a lot of great catches this season. He's got great hands. He just couldn't hold that one.
12:41 to play in the half. This series has been dominated by Oklahoma in their matchups with Missouri. Last win for the Tigers against the Sooners, 1998 in Columbia. In fact, the Sooners have taken 16 of the last 17. Now Murray on first down, powers his way and spins inside the 30. So Murray gets about 5. It'll bring up another 3rd down for the Sooners.
Well, this is what I think they need to do. Run the ball downhill a little bit at this Missouri defense. See if you can wear them out. You've got a big offensive line. You need to rely on them and capable tailbacks in DeMarco Murray and Alan Patrick. And this is a staple in this offense. It's been that way for a long time. DeMarco Murray had a tremendous football game last week against the Longhorns. Over 100 yards in that football game. Had a burst for 65 yards and a big touchdown in that win.
Murray with 128 yards on 17 carries last week. As you talk about the big day against Texas. They're 3 of 4 on their 3rd down tries. This is going to be a 3rd and 5. Too much time for Bradford. Wide open. Touchdown Oklahoma. Tight end Jermaine Gresham.
We talk about the tight ends of this football game, and Oklahoma has a pair of good tight ends too. Joe John Finley and now Jermaine Gresham, who had 2 touchdown catches a week ago against the Longhorns. Now one in this football game in the second quarter for Oklahoma. Just working down the seam, gets behind the linebacker, and that was a nice easy throw for the quarterback. Nobody within 5 yards of Jermaine Gresham.
So long drive for the Sooners. Started with a 30-yard pass as Hartley pops it through the uprights. And it goes 86 yards with the last 30. Going to the big tight end, a sophomore from Ardmore, Oklahoma. So now 17 unanswered by Oklahoma as they're on top of Mizzou by 10. Some questions for him. If that man's got all the answers, Gary, I got a ton of questions for Marcus.
We got a lot of questions we can ask Marcus. There's no doubt about that. He'll get back to us, though.
Now, Missouri better get their act together with the wind at their back, because it is a strong wind. And they've got to get points if they're going to stay in the game when they do have that advantage. Now into the wind. It'll be Macklin. As Hartley kicks it away to the goal line. Macklin with a couple of nice blocks early, but he's punched down. Crossing the 23 down to the 24-yard line. We head back downstairs. Emily, I know you've got a special guest.
I do have a special guest. OU fans might recognize this guy. Heck, a lot of the Big 12 might recognize this guy. He wreaked havoc with the Oklahoma Sooners as quarterback last season. Paul Thompson, first of all, get us up to speed on what you've been doing now that you're out of college.
Yeah, I'm all done now, but I've been working out with teams. I was out in Green Bay for a little bit, no longer out there. So just, wanted to get back here and start working out, get in shape, and do some stuff around here.
Sam Bradford was your understudy last year. Has he exceeded your expectations, or did you know he had this in it?
Yeah, I didn't know much. Last year he was doing mainly scout teams, so I didn't really get a chance to see him much. Saw a little bit of the spring game, and just from what I've seen and from what I've heard, he's definitely developing as a great quarterback.
I know we were talking before we came on the air. You attribute a lot of that to Josh Heupel, a guy you know pretty well.
Oh yeah, Coach Heupel is a great coach, a guy that I was under last year, and the way he prepares his guys. And the way, he gets their mind ready to play is amazing. So a lot of that has to go to him.
All right, Paul Thompson, best of luck in pursuing your NFL career. He could do it as a wide receiver or a quarterback, guys. Remember, he played both positions here at OU.
All right, Emily, the tight end put down after a grab by Chase Kaufman.
And I tell you, Paul Thompson was a true professional here at Oklahoma. What I mean by that is he made a great decision to play quarterback for him last year and led him to a Big 12 championship. No one's going to ever forget that for what that man did. Hey, he's aspiring as an NFL player. Emily talked about perhaps a wide receiver or even a quarterback, and just a great figure around here.
He's back here to stay in shape and to stay by the phone. He's using the Packers camp. Now, key third down, and the Tigers haven't converted yet. They are 0 for 4. They had the loss on first down with Goldsmith, the running back, losing 5. Then they get a little more than 4, almost 5 on this snap. Daniel underneath, and he's got the first down. It's Tommy Saunders' first catch of the game. He's got it across the 35 with a little extra effort out to the 37. And that was huge for Missouri, as I mentioned, because all the momentum belongs to Oklahoma.
Well, it's going to be a pressure defense here. You have the top of the screen. They're going to bring pressure on this side, and the quarterback, Chase Daniel, is going to come down this side. He's going to find the open receiver right down here. Good slant pattern inside, gets 5-6 yards. That's what they do. They move the ball around the field. They get all the receivers in the action, and Chase Daniel, in this offense, he just distributes the football.
Point guard in basketball. That's what he is at quarterback. There's a blitz off the edge, but it's going to be a false start against Missouri.
False start, 79 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Not a good start for Llewellyn, the senior from Bethany, Missouri. A guy making his 31st consecutive start. In fact, Speaker and Llewellyn, they're two stalwarts, the center and left tackle. They've got to come through.
Yeah, those guys up front, they've got to take care of business up there, and they're experienced players. You take a look at the inside there at the center. 43 consecutive starts for Adam Speaker, and he's got to do well up there to protect that quarterback.
Daniel, check that. He's not going to be. They'll pitch it to the tight end Rucker just to get him the football. And it was the running back who pitched it anyway. Wide receiver, in fact, Perry, who pitched it. And it didn't work after the loss of 5 on the mark-off. It's only out to the 32 where they started. It'll be second, make it now, 2nd and 15.
Just another gadget play. You got Rucker there, who's a big tight end. They've done this to him before. To get up the hands of his ball, let him run the football. And a little bit of reverse or end around there. And quarterback Chase Daniel out of the pocket, out by the numbers in that set.
He's going to be setting up behind center. Bringing back Goldsmith. They pick up the action on the far side. Fire it to the tight end. Kaufman got back the yard or two he gave up. Out to the 41, but still shy of the first down by about a half dozen.
Yeah, Chase Daniel thought about running that time as far as stepping up and making a play with his feet perhaps, but good job of finding Chase Kaufman, who gets about 10 yards on the play. See, Chase saw an opening there, but a linebacker stepped in there and closed that hole up pretty quickly. He saw Nick Harris, so he decided not to run, and good throw there brings up a 3rd and 6.
Missouri finally converted on a 3rd down. They're 1 of 5. Daniel 10 of 13. But he had that pick, and the pick turned into points for Oklahoma. Daniel out of the gun. Man, what a pass. A little bit behind his man, and it had to be that way to William Franklin. Otherwise, it would have been intercepted.
Well, William Franklin's a big receiver. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. He can take contact, and he's a senior. He's an experienced guy. He's a guy that they like to put the ball in his hands, no doubt about that. And there's a chance that he'll play on Sundays. He's got that kind of ability, and a couple of Sooners there converging on him at the point of attack. You see Lofton and Reggie Smith both there.
Yeah, if he doesn't throw it behind him, Lofton's going to get his paw on it. First down, Mizzou. Ball to the midfield stripe. Here comes the blitz out of the secondary. Daniel eludes the pressure and throws the ball away. So they're gambling now. Brett Venables starting to mix things up.
Yeah, you want to bring pressure on the quarterback. But one thing I was always taught by my defensive coaches when I played the game is that when you rush a quarterback, never jump, because they're going to make you look bad. And watch Lewis Baker come around the edge here, and what he does is he jumps. Take everything out of it. You have no way to make a play at that time. You got to continue to the quarterback and make the sack.
The running back Jimmy Jackson off right tackle, one of their better runs because the run has been non-existent for Missouri. They average 199 a game, but they don't have a ton of balance. More balance usually for the Oklahoma Sooners, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Well, their offensive system, Joel, this season has been 65% passing the football and only 35% running the football. But really, they have the offense where they spread it out and they pass the football to set up their run game. So when the offensive passing game is working, they'll go to the run game to get a little change up.
So similar situation for Missouri, and Daniel's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, they're missing a player on the field. They're one short.
It's already a 12th man in the stands for Oklahoma. Mizzou can't play with 10 on offense, can they? 7:39 left in the half. We'll find out what Missouri does on 3rd and 6 when we return to Norman. Welcome back once again as Honda's on campus in Norman. Take a drive around the University of Oklahoma. I said to you when we came over to the ballpark today, changing to the colors, how perfect the setting was. I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful campus.
Beautiful homecoming scene here for the Sooners.
It's a 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Wind at their back, and they better take advantage of it. Empty backfield for Daniel. He can run for it potentially. And the speed on the outside caught up with him.
Good coverage in the secondary. Chase Daniel deciding to pull the ball down and run around the edge and try to get there with his speed. It's going to be a 4th and looks like 2 yards. What will the Tigers decide to do here? This is the biggest decision for Gary Pinkel so far. And
good play by Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds comes up and makes a nice play on the outside, not allowing Chase Daniel to continue. I think Chase Daniel actually slipped down a little bit there. So looks like Missouri's decided to punt the football and just play the field position game.
Yeah, it'll be a 4th and 2 at the 42. Cross it in. Back deep, it's going to be Reggie Smith. So they're playing the field position game, trailing by 10. Inside of 7 left in the half. Smith with a fair catch inside the 10. And he can't believe it either. So they'll put it down between the 7 and 8 and downstairs. Emily.
Well, guys, the winds not as much of a factor right now as they were at the beginning of the game. I guess since the sun's gone down, the winds have kind of calmed. However, it is still coming from the southeast to the northwest, which means there's kind of a crosswind, not really affecting things down low. But during the kicks, when those things get up high in the air, it's going to mess with them a little bit.
All right, Emily. So up top, it may impact the kicking game, and we discussed that. The short passing game in Missouri, though, should not be affected.
Now the long field here to go for Oklahoma. Their 7-yard line coming out.
They've got Alan Patrick, a veteran in the backfield, the senior from Conway, South Carolina. They've not been able to run the football, and they won't this time either. He is belted immediately. Before that, Alan Patrick had 4 carries for 9. In fact, they only had 9 attempts on the ground. As the stop on that side of the field was Skylar Shulock, a junior from Rockdale, Texas.
Shulock does a nice job coming inside there, making the play, and she comes off the field after that play, so hopefully he's okay to get back in there for him.
And usually Oklahoma, a much more balanced team. 260 through the air, basically, about 220 on the ground. Patrick stays in the backfield after the loss of a yard. Bradford on the dump off to Finley, and the tie it in. And doesn't quit on it at about the 12, takes it up to 14, short of where he needed to go by 4. So big 3rd down, both ways coming up.
You know, these big receivers in this game, all the tight ends. Joe John Finley, one of those, hard to get down on the ground. Brock Christopher trying to get him down, but just needs some help. Those guys are not easy to tackle.
So So now it's going to be 3rd and 4. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% on brand name products. Live better with Overstock.com. It is all about the O. Oklahoma almost perfect. They're 4 or 5 of their 3rd down tries. 2 to each side with Chris Brown in the backfield. Redshirt freshman changing things up. And on the pass play, he's got Iglesias. First down Oklahoma across the 20 out to the 22. They're throwing at will.
Well, they're throwing the spots here, and Iglesias just getting inside there right around the hash mark, and just working one-on-one protection out here to the outside, and he's coming inside and working there. Good job of going up for the football, and now not able to get there in time, and the quarterback gets a shot there at the end. Zicky Hood getting Sam Bradford to the ground.
And he has not had that much pressure.
Anytime you can come out of your end zone and make yardage, get first downs, and move the football, that's a real positive thing here for an offense.
Brown stays in the backfield. Send a fastball out to the tight end Gresham, who's got a touchdown. It's like a running play. Gets about 5 on first down. Maybe a little bit short of 5 across the 25 to the 26.
Now you're trying to block on the outside and not happening there. To see these receivers going to come down and have to get the blocks. You see the block miss there. He steps over and allows the defender to come in and make a tackle for a short gain. If you get up and stay up there on your blocks, you get a chance there. Tennell not able to make that block.
Last week, Bradford 21 of 32, 244 in his first Red River battle with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and no letdown for the Sooners. The following week, Brown on the perimeter, and he's got right at the marker. Let's see if they spot it. Right at the first down marker across the 30 to the 32. One of the better runs so far tonight with 4:05 to play.
We talked about DeMarco Murray, Alan Patrick. Chris Brown is in this running back mix as well. Guy who played quite a bit last year with Adrian Peterson being injured. Alan Patrick and Chris Brown both shouldered the load for the Sooners in 2006, and getting a chance here to continue that. He's a pretty powerful running back. Got over 4 yards a carry himself this season, 4.5 for Chris Brown.
One of the best offensive units in the nation has been shut down by the Oklahoma defense, but now the Oklahoma offense is starting to pick it up. 185 yards for the Sooners, compared to only 84 for Missouri. They get the first down by the nose of the football across the 32. There's some noise in the background, and I got a feeling there's Kentucky blue in the background. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Bradford out of the gun. He comes. He's got Kelly. And Kelly, against that cover two, they're eating it alive for another first down out to the 49.
Now, if you play the bend but don't break type of style of defense, that's what this Oklahoma offense can do, is they can find the seam between the linebackers in the secondary, and that's what Malcolm Kelly does. Sam Bradford just threads the football and gets in a void there between the underneath coverage and the deep secondary, and the safeties over the top. Good shot there by Bradford and well executed by Oklahoma.
So they're taking with the cover two Gibbsland. Jake Brown took a shot, but still. First down. Well, I know Mike Goldberg's going to fill us in, but the noise you hear in the background, another #1 loses. Last week it was USC. This week it's LSU. Kentucky, what was it, the 3rd overtime?
Triple overtime they scored, I believe. Put them ahead in that football game.
Brown slashing the left side. Nothing available. Only a yard out of the midfield stripe. So for the most part, Missouri has done an outstanding job against the ground game and a balanced ground attack of the Sooners. But they can't stop Sam Bradford.
Well, Sam Bradford's been on fire. He's been very efficient with the football. We talked about him leading the country in passing efficiency. And when you can do that, you can still move the chains regardless if the run game is not working. I talked about a blended offense for the Sooners trying to use the run game to set up the pass game. It's going just the other way. He's doing a good job throwing the football. They may have to develop that more as we move along. Take a look at the total offensive numbers here. Only 24 yards rushing for Oklahoma to 179 yards passing.
Usually a much more balanced group. 2nd and 9, and Heat and Bradford's down. First sack of the game, and the Tigers' Lorenzo Williams gets it, the senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Yeah, kind of a homecoming for here at Midwest City. He's just outside of Oklahoma City. He's coming down here to play in front of his fans, his family. He's a senior, and young man does a good job getting inside and working hard on John Cooper. Defeats him, who's the center. Big Lorenzo Williams, one of the better players, got 14.5, now his 15th.5 career sack for Missouri. Team captain's doing a good job there. It's a huge play. Brings up a 3rd and long here for Oklahoma.
One of the few times they've had this situation. Well, they're still 5 of 6 on their 3rd downs. It's going to be 3rd and 19. Need to take it inside the Mizzou 41. bunch formation. Low side of the screen, the wide side of the field. Shallow cross is available. They'll go out to the tight end. And Grisham will be run out of bounds, well short. Now, it could have been a personal foul, but the Tiger, who was well out of bounds when he tried to hit Grisham, missed him. And that's a break for Missouri.
Yeah,
it was Justin Garrett.
Trying to make some contact outside and didn't hit the target. So no flag on the play, and Missouri, with the benefit of that sack by Lorenzo Williams, allows them to stops Oklahoma here.
Tachi halftime coming up with Mike Goldberg, D. Farr, DeMarco Farr, and they'll be showing you highlights of the Kentucky LSU contest who went triple overtime. Macklin, one of the best in the nation at punt returns. Waits back, and now he's going to get off the field. So Mizzou does not have a man back on the punt coming up from Michael Cone. It hits at the 15, and it'll die and roll out of bounds at about the 13.
Now the defense just played the field that time. You leave Missouri out there, and this is just a good job of punting to a spot.
Now the unbeatens, LSU.
No, gone.
Is gone.
They take them off already.
Yeah, Cal, who's a team that's already won at Oregon. They still have USC though on their schedule, so it's going to be a real difficult one for Cal down the road. They've got a couple of tough teams with the Pac-10 besides USC. Ohio State. You got to wonder about the Big Ten though. What we've seen in the Big Ten.
Boston College going to 7-0 again today, and Missouri with a chance to they can pull the upset off here in Norman to stay unbeaten.
Spread it out on from the 13. It's knocked down, a break for Daniel, and it wasn't intercepted. So, and it was available. Yeah, big yardage if Austin English doesn't get it.
Austin English does a nice job of just getting off the block, getting his hands up in front of Chase Daniel, trying to fake it across and come back that way. Austin English has been an impact player. And he's one of the better athletes out there on that field. He's got great speed. He's got good vertical ability. 35-inch vertical jump for this guy, and one of the strongest players on the team, Joel.
Well, he's now got 7 sacks and 10 tackles behind the line that was sacked earlier this contest. Daniel out of the gun. And it's the rookie, freshman, Derek Washington with his first carry. Young man from outside of the Kansas City area, Peculiar, Missouri. Same hometown as Chase Kaufman. He takes it out to the 15.
I talk about Austin English coming up here. He didn't get off the block by Llewellyn. Good job by Llewellyn holding Austin there, and Nick Harris coming over making a play on him.
They've got some big safeties, don't they? Wolf at about 6 even. Nick Harris, 6'3", 230.
And all these guys, they're great athletes, and they were former receivers, quarterbacks, or running backs, and they convert those guys from secondary players to linebackers. They want to put speed on the field.
They give it to Macklin. And Macklin's got a lane past the 20, and he's got a first down, one of the few on a third down try for the Tigers, stopping the clock out to the 28. Final minute, 48 seconds left. And Missouri still with timeouts on the board, 2 remaining.
Yeah, a little reverse sweep here. Just bring Macklin into the backfield and hand it off to him underneath. And he's got speed and wheels, no doubt about that. He can run through holes. It's a first down here for Missouri.
Yeah, he said he was not out of bounds, so they wind the clock. Daniel, hurry up mode now. Slipping out of the pocket, nothing available, and throws it away. Time now for that Dr. Pepper game break. We thought we'd hear from these guys. Mike, the upset.
Well, Joel, you guys talked about it. This is how it happened. Number 1, LSU loses at Kentucky, 4th and 2. They've got to convert, and they do not. They lose in triple overtime at Kentucky. We will have full highlights. A whole deep look into this contest coming up on the halftime show. Wow, what a day.
An upside-down season as Macklin takes it across the 35 out to the 37 for Missouri, and they should use a timeout here with 29-28 left. And will they? Finally they do. Stop it with 27 seconds left on a 3rd and 2 coming up.
This is their offense all the time on the field. It's not anything new to them as far as managing the clock and playing what they call their fastball offense. So their 2-minute drill, their 2-minute offense is just like what they do on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down throughout the entire ball game. And Chase Daniel very comfortable running that offensive style out there, and they use a timeout here to stop the clock. But plenty of time left, 29 seconds to go to move the ball down the field, at least move into field goal range. And remember, the wind is at the Tigers' back, so if they had to kick a long field goal, that would possibly aid them.
Yeah, the matchup, though, Gary coming in. Gary Pinkles, number 4 offense in the nation. In total offense, 557 yards a game. And they barely have a buck so far. Barely 100 yards in the first half against an Oklahoma defense that is 11th in the nation, giving up less than 300 a contest. So Oklahoma winning the battle over the first 30 minutes of play.
Now coming into the ball game, Missouri, their rankings pretty impressive all across the board, scoring and total yardage, but not really getting that production here against a lot speedier, more talented Oklahoma Sooner defense.
It's only 108 yards tonight on 31 snaps. It's a little more than 3 per pop, and that is it for the Tigers. 3rd and a couple to keep the drive alive. Can they even get a field goal before halftime if they convert? Good pocket protection and a long throw for a first down. That'll stop the clock on the completion going out to Denario Alexander, the sophomore from Marlin, Texas.
And they get right up the line of scrimmage. Just a good job of moving the chains now and get a first down and retool here.
They're winding it in a hurry inside of 20. Daniel, it's a straight 4-man rush. Time, man over the middle, it's complete. Inside the 25, Macklin. And a first down with a timeout on the board and 12 seconds left.
Now Oklahoma just rushing 4 there that time, and to get Jeremy Macklin on the outside, he's going to be the seam receiver. And watch him down here. The 4 rushers here cannot get to the quarterback, Chase Daniel, able to stand in there and throw that ball over the linebacker in front of the safety. Nice execution.
Daniel out of the gun, saving the timeout. They start the clock. His final try to the far side, another completion, and the man's not knocked out. Franklin inside the 5. Put out of bounds almost to the goal line, but he's short by a couple, and they'll have to go, you would think, to get the sure 3.
Well, I think Brent Venable's going to go crazy here, because what you do is you just try and do a block tackle to the outside, and you can't do that. You got to wrap up his line as a defensive backs and just knock him out of bounds. Marcus Walker making the contact there, but can't get him down, and allows him to get inside the 5-yard line and line up for a field goal attempt here. Don't have a lot of time on the clock, just 2 seconds.
Now final snap, barring a penalty of the first half. And Missouri going to the locker room, trailing by only 7. Wolford, 7 of 11. You saw the numbers on its way, and he's got it. So points on a long drive with limited time on the board for the Missouri Tigers. So that is a definite boost for their confidence going in. They started back at their own 13. Big plays for Macklin in particular in the last one.
Chase Daniel in that situation and coming away with the points, and Gary Pinkel's got to be happy going into the locker room. But overall, the Oklahoma defense has done well in this ball game of not allowing the Missouri offense to convert on in certain situations.
Yeah, Missouri very fortunate to go to the locker room only down by 7 as we head downstairs. Emily Jones.
Coach, aside from the first drive of the half and the last drive of the half, your defense is pretty stout.
Yeah, they've played well. We gave up the one big route and then gave him the short field the first drive, so can't give him a short field.
Offensively, the passing game seems to be working. You're going to try to run the ball a little bit more?
Yeah, we need to. We just letting people rip inside of us or come off of blocks, twist back inside. We got to finish blocks better. All
right, Coach, best of luck in the second half, guys. The score now just within a touchdown, 17-10 is the score at the half here in Norman. We'll send it now to LA, I do believe, guys.
College Football Saturday, all presented by Kyocera, continues at the break. It's the Missouri Tigers and the Oklahoma Sooners homecoming weekend in Norman to welcome back once again. Sooners on top by 7. A similar situation for both teams over the first 30 minutes of play. Neither the Tigers nor the Sooners had any balance at all. They had to get most of the yardage from their quarterbacks. Bradford early and often, and then Chase Daniel did come on.
Well, I think both quarterbacks played well in this football game, but they really didn't establish the run. Either team in this football game, we'll take a look at the first half stats and we'll talk about those. The reason this football game is not really going the way that most teams would like is rushing yards. Look for Oklahoma, only 14 yards rushing this football game, and no balance whatsoever for Mizzou either. Didn't get but 15 yards rushing there. Only 1 turnover for Mizzou, with points coming off that, 3 points for Oklahoma. So the turnover's not really critical in this football game. I think both teams need to run the football a little bit more. For more, let's go down to Emily Jones.
Guys, thank you, Coach Pinkel. Your offense started off the half strong, ended the half strong. How do you keep that going throughout the second half?
Well, first of all, they're playing great defense. I think that what we're doing is we're ending up giving up, getting long yardage situations, getting negative yards, and we can't have negative yards. When we get 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, you can't get off the field. The other side of the football, we're doing pretty good against the run, but we got to get more pressure and not give up the big play.
How do you protect Chase? He's gotten a little pressure back there.
Well, we're trying to move him around a little bit. Again, not get in positions where we got to 7-step drop him and get our quick passing game going.
All right, Coach, is the wind affecting you guys at all?
No, not at all.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half, guys. It's a 1-touchdown game. Should be a great second half.
All right, Emily, in a very situation for Missouri as the punter cross it will kick it away. And with the wind at his back, a line drive by Iglesias, and almost put it out of bounds outside of the pylon. It went out of bounds, though, while he was in the end zone. So Oklahoma will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20, and can Missouri get more touches from Macklin? That's their case. Bradford, spectacular at times.
Yeah, Sam Bradford's done a great job with the football. Very efficient, 16-19. Joaquin Iglesias, again, the go-to guy for him so far this season. He's caught a lot of balls and 4 tonight.
And now will they make the commitment? We've talked about it, the running game. Oklahoma in the first half, 13 carries for only 14 yards. 13 for 14. Now Missouri's got to feel pretty good about that. A team that defensively over their first few games didn't do much right on the play fake. Room to move for Sam Bradford. And on the comeback route, Iglesias. Sure hands. He's got it for a first down to the 33. And that's tough for a D-back.
Yeah. Just takes him down the field and pushes him off. That's what Joaquin Iglesias does. He's going to work down the sideline. Then as the quarterback comes around, he just works back to him. It's a good job. We'll stop and go start there for him. And Iglesias a good route runner. And well done there on the waggle pass.
So Iglesias for the first snap, first catch, the junior from Killeen, Texas. He had quite a Fiesta Bowl. In fact, it was his best game of the year in the loss to Boise State. They'll give it on the gadget, and it doesn't fool Missouri. Cut him off at the pass. Staying at home on the play in particular. Sam, or make it Sean Weatherspoon, as he took care of DeMarco Murray.
He's actually their leading tackler, Sean Weatherspoon, number 12. And he's going to do a good job here just staying at home and coming up here and making a tackle in the backfield. Tackle for loss. Those are good things for a defense. Sean Weatherspoon, sophomore from Jasper, and playing pretty well for Missouri.
So they set up Murray in an interesting position on the far side of the field. The running back was outside. Now the Tigers stayed at home on the play. So loss about 4. Call it 2nd and 14. Good pocket protection. A lot of time, and it should have been intercepted by 2 Tigers, and it falls. First Weatherspoon, and then second Pig Brown. Both had shots at it.
Ball right through Weatherspoon's hands. The fastball by Sam Bradford trying to get the ball up the seam to, I think, to the tight end here. Just goes right through number 12's hands. Watch it right there. He's trying to get to Malcolm Kelly, and almost a rebound to Pig Brown, number 13.
Yeah, Missouri's going to win on the road and win in Oklahoma for the first time since 1966. They've got to make plays like that.
You got to come down with those opportunity balls.
From the 29, it'll be 3rd and 14 for the Sooners. 5 of 7 in the first half on their 3rd down tries. Just about 50% on the season coming in. They pick up the blitz, and in space, Kelly had it behind him. He's got room to roam if it's led. So 2 poor throws in a row for the first time tonight by Bradford.
Yeah, Sam Bradford not accurate on that ball. Behind the Malcolm Kelly coming across the field. And as you said, Joel, if he'd have caught that football, he had room to run after that catch. And Sam Bradford let 2 balls get away from him there, not starting out the 3rd quarter as efficient as he played the first half.
So just the 2nd punt of the game for Michael Cone. Kind of a lonely guy. And we've seen that before. That's how good Oklahoma's been at times this year offensively. Macklin waits with a 16-yard average. Leads the nation in all-purpose yardage. He's back at the 31 for the Tigers. Pressure comes. And a good one by Cone. It'll be a fair catch called for by Macklin. And an exceptional one. As Macklin's all the way back at the 21. Well, Chase Daniel, the leader. The guy that they look to. And he talks about what the success the Tigers have enjoyed so far this season means to the squad.
Just enjoy the ride. I mean, this didn't happen very often. This has really rarely ever happened here at Missouri. I mean, the past 2 years we started off 5-0. I mean, that's something special to us. And also just enjoy the ride. Don't get complacent on anything we do, and always try to bring your A game.
Missouri and Daniel have it for the first time in the second half. Out in the flat, it's available. And a first down on the far side of the field going to Rucker. They have not been able to find their tight end all that often tonight. So Rucker on the receiving end, and that is only his 2nd grab of the game.
You got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Martin Rucker certainly one of those. And Chase Daniel, he talked about being successful and what it means to his football team. Well, he's got to bring his A game, and they've got to deliver here. They got to play all together. They play well, and they spread the ball around the field. And I'm sure Gary Temple talking about doing that tonight.
Now Daniel over the middle. Bullet is complete, on target for 8. as he found William Franklin. Well, Rucker comes into the game, Gary. 8 catches per game, 88 yards. That leads the nation's tight ends. And Kaufman not far behind. They're both utilized, but neither one's seen a lot of balls their way.
One-on-one coverage with Reggie Smith out there going the backside. And, you know, you're talking about the tight ends getting the ball in their hands. And they've made a commitment to that to get those guys, you know, active out there. Martin Rucker and Chase Kaufman. And just getting two catches now into the third quarter for Rucker is kind of atypical for this offense.
Rare second and short for the Tigers. Jimmy Jackson, room up the middle, and breaks a tackle for good yardage, and maybe their best run of the night to the 49.
And what we've seen here to start out from Missouri is they've thrown the ball 3 consecutive plays, and they've made positive yardage each play, and guess what that does? It opens up your run game. So now they're thinking pass rush, pass rush, pass rush, and now your run game with Jimmy Jackson coming around the inside of the right guard gets a good game for him on the first down.
So the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week, Chase Daniel, had a career best 473 yards of total offense, involved in 4 touchdowns last week. Trying to get the Tigers even. Opening 2.5 of the third. Pick up the blitz off the edge. Available on the opposite side. It's complete. And once again in the direction of Franklin. So they're taking what Oklahoma's giving them.
Take what you give them. Now, we talked with Gary Pinkel, and he said, hey, we're going to get our intermediate and short passing game going here. And that's what Chase Daniel does. He reads the defense. He reads it well. And it's kind of automatic to him. He played this same style of offense in high school at South Lake Carroll in Texas. And kind of a natural to this offense. And now in his junior season here, a chance to really do something special. 380 yards of total offense coming into this game. Chase Daniel accounted for it. So number 3 in the nation. And he just get his offense going here against Oklahoma.
The one thing he hasn't done is run the football tonight. So he goes for the first down, and Rucker is popped out of bounds. It's incomplete. He brought it down, but they say he was out of bounds anyway.
You've got to make quick decisions as a quarterback in this offense, because you get shorter routes that you have to run to, and you have to read the right route. And see the defense in there. They're coming. They're defeating the blockers up front. So he's got to step into it and make a quick throw. And almost a good catch. His left foot is right on the sideline, looked like to me, and out of bounds.
Might want to have a long call here. They're going to have Macklin in the backfield, and he wants to throw. He's got Rucker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Smith, who read it perfectly. Blockers coming the other way for Smith on the gadget play, and pulled down from behind. So the turnover, Saunders on the tackle, and a good short field now for Oklahoma.
Now Jeremy Macklin lined up at the quarterback here in the shotgun, and he's going to come around and try to throw the football down the field, but he does not see Reggie Smith, who accounts for him, the cornerback there who steps underneath this, undercuts the throw to Martin Rucker, and Reggie Smith making another big play in the secondary for the Sooners. He's done that several times this season and over his career. And man, he's from Edmond Santa Fe High School here north of Oklahoma City. Local fan favorite, a guy who had a great high school career and making a big play here for a football team.
And now it's going to be the pressure on the Missouri defense. You get a little air under this ball. Is it complete? Let's take another look.
Good job here by the defensive reacting on the throw. Reggie Smith just falling off in coverage. He didn't have anybody to cover there. He saw what was happening. And good job of falling back in front of the tight end.
Let's see if they now try to get DeMarco Murray in the ground game going. No, Bradford wheeling away from the heat, and a nice move by Bradford to run out of bounds at about the 50 near the 49. It looked like he was going to be popped and sacked. That was Jaron Baston right in his face, a sophomore from Blue Springs.
Yeah, you see Bradford back there making something happen with his feet. You know, he's a pretty good athlete in his own right. The guy played high school basketball, competitive AAU type basketball. He's a scratch golfer. He's got all those things going for him. He's got pretty good speed too, Joel. He's able to get outside the defense and make some plays. And got 6 yards on that scamper.
Yeah, and it was actually Schulach in the backfield. Baston also there, but Schulach the first one. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 after the scramble by Bradford. And he's got a first down with Iglesias and a cushion on the corner as he's run out of bounds at about the 43. So 3 minutes gone by. A 17-10 lead for Oklahoma. And Iglesias, his favorite target. That's going to be the 6th grab of the game.
Give the ball to Iglesias quite a bit tonight. 6 receptions on the evening, and he's kind of on average of what he's done so far this year. I believe 35, 36 catches coming in to this ball game.
So they're trying to get points off a turnover. They got 3 off an interception, a Daniel interception in the first half on a short field. It'll be Murray, 1st and 10. And again, Tigers pursue well down the line. He goes for about 2. down to the 41.
Yeah, I think Ziggy Hood actually got a hand on him in the backfield. Tried to almost tripped him up just a little bit. He kind of stumbled coming out of the backfield and didn't get going.
So brings up a 2nd and long. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. With the convenience of shopping at home, you can save up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all about the O at Overstock.com. Just about 4 minutes into the third. Sooners by 7. Tiger territory with a 2nd and 8 at the Mizzou 41. Play fake for DeMarco Murray, and again the Tigers flush him out. He'll scramble well and take a shot at the end of the play. And it was the backer, Weatherspoon, who got the best of him. Down to the 36.
Yeah, but still another productive play by Sam Bradford coming out of the backfield, and nobody open downfield, so he decides to, after the play fake, come around the edge and just take it into his own hands. Takes a pretty good shot, as you said here. Weatherspoon, the linebacker, coming up, pretty good shot on Sam Bradford.
It's interesting, though, that Daniel, who's always possessed good wheels and gets 40-50 yards a game on average, has not tried to get outside. But Bradford now is starting to run the football in the second half for Oklahoma. They need a little more than 3 for the first down inside the Missouri 33. And Chris Brown makes a miss. He's got the first down to the Mizzou 29. Nifty moves by Brown to the line of scrimmage.
And a couple of times now we've seen Chris Brown with pretty good running lane here to go to, and he just steps inside, starts out to the right side, and watch him work back across the seam there. You see the blocking down. Looks like the tight end's coming down there. That's Joe John Finley getting on the linebacker so we can get Chris Brown to the second level.
Chavis thought he had a crack at the line at him. Got away. Brown will stay on the field with Bradford out of the gun on a first down to the Missouri 29 after they took over at their own 44 on the pick by Smith. The poise of redshirt freshman Bradford. Double move for Iglesias. Man, Iglesias knew what was coming. And it was going to be a serious hit out of the secondary by Pig Brown. It was overthrown, though.
William Moore, who's playing the cornerback spot on that side, did a nice job of staying with him. Didn't go too much for the fake. He was able to run with Iglesias, be there underneath, and make it a hard throw over the top. And it would have been a tight fit to get that ball in there for Sam Bradford.
Bradford's thrown for 207 yards so far. Only 31 yards on the ground. So overall, it has not been a bad day for Missouri defensively. Put in a precarious position now by the turnover. Their offense has put them into this situation. 2nd and 10. Fake the reverse. Ton of time for Bradford. He'll go with Murray after the fake and the reverse. And it pays off. Murray making a miss. Breaks tackles. And he's inside the 5, 1st and goal.
And I talked at the top of the show about tackling for Missouri going to be key in this football game. When they get up there and have an opportunity to bring down a speedy tailback like DeMarco Murray, good job in the secondary first and foremost about covering everyone. He comes down to his check down here, DeMarco Murray in the flat, and just making people miss. Can't come up and miss tackles if you're a cornerback. You've got to be able to tackle and limit these contact, limit those catches to short gains. And DeMarco Murray showing you that he can catch the ball out of the backfield and make nice yardage there after the catch.
We'll go with 2 tight ends on the same side. Over to the right side. In fact, trips over to the right side. Chris Brown the single to the backfield. And throw the fade. In the corner, Kelly just off his reach. And almost got his fingertips there. Bring it in. It'll be 2nd and goal.
On this drive, Joel, Missouri's defense has kind of been a bend but don't break style defense, playing a lot of zone coverage. And as we take a look at Bradford here's an attempt to get it out there to Kelly, almost there, just a little bit too far outside of his reach.
He started over the inside shoulder. It's over the outside shoulder. Otherwise, if he looks that way first, I think he gets it, Gary. It'll be 2nd and goal. 9:34 left in the third. Chris Brown short side. He's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Well, point of attack blocking that time by the Sooners on the right side. Just overpowers the Missouri defense. Nobody even slows down Chris Brown anywhere. Just take a look at the right side. Watch Trent Williams, number 71, come around the outside. The tight end does a good job blocking. That's Brody Eldridge in there. And they win the corner, and Chris Brown, the beneficiary of it, with the touchdown for the Sooners.
It's a short field for Oklahoma. They made the most of the opportunity. Hartley for the point after. And off the upright as he hooked it. It's dead. And it's going to be only a 13-point lead. Let's see if that's a factor down the road. So Mizzou was moving the football. They looked efficient early in the second half, but they coughed it up, and Oklahoma makes them pay. Homecoming weekend in Norman. They like it so far, and it's a 13-point lead for the Sooners with 9.5 to play in the third. See if that missed extra point. Hartley has missed 4 point afters already this season.
Uncharacteristic for him. He had a great season a year ago, and now having a chance to kick the ball off here. It's kicking off into the wind, so it's probably a good chance that Missouri's going to have a big chance to bring this football back.
Yeah, and Gary, he had plenty of chances last year. He's 49 of 50 on extra points. And scoring bunches. Macklin on the short one from the 7. How about a home run threat for Missouri? Macklin sprints across the 30, going backwards and going down past the 32. Everybody we talked with about this young man, Jeremy Macklin, and he's at about 6'1", 200 pounds, say that he's got the speed of a Mel Gray and maybe even a little shiftier. Mel Gray was a great sprinter from Missouri in the 60s.
Yeah, when they saw him last year in the fall camp or in the summer, they felt like that he could be a great asset to their football team. Had a knee injury, it didn't allow him to play last year, so he redshirted, and now as a redshirt freshman, he has busted on the scene and made some really nice strides and gains and huge plays for Missouri. He's a talented player.
And he's from St. Louis, the suburb of Kirkwood, and that's one of the things that the Tigers have to do is keep the locals at home. They've gotten away to the Oklahomas and Nebraskas. Out in the flat, it's Macklin, pulled down quickly from behind by Clifton. Or make it Lofton. Curtis Lofton, the middle linebacker, got over.
Yeah, I think Brent Venables has done a pretty good job of calling a defensive game here, changing things up against Missouri.
We had an opportunity to talk to Gary Pinkel about that very talented young man. His impressions, Jeremy Macklin.
You know, you look at it from an offensive perspective, and we pitch him the ball, and you know, he can throw the football. You know, he runs the ball, and then we throw it to him. But then you look at the impact he has from a kicking game standpoint. We got a guy now that punt returns and kickoff returns that at any time can change a game, and that's exciting to have a guy like that.
Missouri has not had, Gary, a multi-dimensional threat like that for a long, long time.
Take a look at his numbers.
Kaufman on the catch.
Pretty good stuff for him.
Kaufman put Mizzou in a third man about a foot. Still haven't seen, and this is an opportunity for Daniel to run the football.
Yeah, just a 3-man line here by Oklahoma.
Right, huge gaps. Up there. Huge gaps. And Daniel will take the opportunity over to the left side and barely gets it. And where's the spot? It's got to go across the 42, and it did.
I think it just across the 42-yard line. It looked like he had an easy game there, but he decided to go sideways, going east and west. You don't want to do this against a speedy Oklahoma defense, which is what they are. They just catch up to you in a hurry and coming from more ways than one.
So one area of Daniel's games that's been missing so far tonight, that added threat that he will take it out and put it on the ground. Because of the sacks, and he has been sacked a couple of times, negative yardage for him on the ground. Will shift. Earl Goldsmith into the backfield on first down for the Tigers. The important sequence for Mizzou, and Goldsmith snared right away up front. And brought down by Allen Davis, the junior from Colleyville, Texas.
You talked about being an important series. I really think this is because Missouri needs to get some consistency on offense, and they need to put points on the board here to kind of match the intensity that Oklahoma has displayed in this football game. You see, good job of getting off the block there. Allen Davis coming off and making the tackle for a short game.
Yeah, Mizzou's only points was 7 points. And there it is, quickly out to Macklin again. And check that, it's Rucker rather on the far side of the field, the 45. The only points, don't forget, that was after a turnover. A very short field of 38 yards. So Missouri offense that comes in averaging 42 points a game hasn't done a thing yet.
Yeah, last week against Nebraska, I think they scored in their first 5 possessions. First time 5 times they touched the football. Did not have that same opportunity here against Oklahoma. They're flying to the football, moving around, and changing up that front a little bit. They run three-man down lineman. They rush outside linebacker, inside. They're doing some different things here for this line to pick up.
And Goldsmith in the backfield to chip away. Now he's out in the flat. Daniel with time had Rucker the opposite way. Now he's got to run for it. Should be able to get there. Past the 50, and he's got it. Took a shot along the way, but he does get the first down. And the pop applied by Lewis Baker, the strong side backer. There's the added spark that Daniel can give them.
Well, when a quarterback does this, he's able to get out of the pocket and make some yardage with his feet. It's hard for an offense or a defense to defend a running quarterback, and if you have that blend of a player, which Chase Daniel certainly is that kind of a player, it's hard for you to do things, but they did a pretty good job on him most of the night.
Give it to Macklin. He'll cut it inside. And short yardage across the 45 down to the 44. And that's with experience. Macklin may have had more if he takes that little wall he had to the outside. Took it back to congestion and was tripped up very quickly.
Yeah, they're committed to spreading the game out here. They're going to use their wide receivers in the run game. They'll use Martin Rucker and remember Tony Temple, who's their senior tailback, not here at this ball game with an injury, so having to rely on other tailbacks in this football game, and probably going to get the ball more to their playmakers in the outside game.
It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Tigers at the Sooners 44. Daniel option showed it. Now goes to Kaufman, and Kaufman's available as tight end. Perfect pass over the strong side backer Baker, and he moves the chains again for Missouri down close to the 28.
Kind of a freeze route there, allows Kaufman to, with the fake here. Watch the fake inside by Chase Daniels. Whoop, steps back and then pops it over the top there, and that's freezes Baker, I think, on the outside just a little bit. Allows Kaufman to get around him, and a nice throw that time by Chase Daniels.
Downstairs, Emily Jones, what's the latest?
Guys, I just wanted to see if you realize that if you combine the heights and weights for the two Missouri tight ends, they're 13 feet and 500 pounds, Kaufman and Rucker are.
13 and 5. Now Daniel in trouble. He can throw it away. He's outside of the tackle. And a smart play to throw it away. It was first down for the Tigers with the 28.
I think the point that Emily Jones is making is that they're big tight ends, and they're, they don't use them as conventional tight ends. They've used these guys as more wide receivers and spread them out, and so they're not conventionally blocking out there. And so take a look at Chase Daniel getting outside the pocket here and going to throw it up in the stands. And who can play? That guy can play. Got a pretty good catch. Adrian Peterson back in the house.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for Missouri. The little wrinkle that Daniel showed with the option, faking it, bringing it back, throwing it to Kaufman, something we didn't see in the first half. An adjustment. Daniel, tough throw all the way to the far side, making a miss. It's Macklin. And he's short of the first down by a little more than a yard and a half, too.
See what he does with his feet, though, as he catches the football. Jeremy Macklin just makes people miss, and that's a key thing for a guy who gets the ball in his hands a lot. That's why he's a big playmaker for this football team. As he catches the football, take a look here as the defense reacts to him, and he just frees him. Lewis Baker runs right by, can't make it. Marcus outside on the out there. Marcus Walker not able to make the play either. So Jeremy Macklin making something happen after he catches that football.
3rd and about 2.5. Mizzou now starting 0 for 5. They're 6 of 12. So gradually it has gotten better for the Tigers. Noisy ballpark in Oklahoma. Daniel on the audible. Calls the play. Blitz coming opposite side. Kaufman makes a good grab. He was thrown behind him a bit. He's got it close to 1st and goal territory. He's inches outside of the 10.
Chase Daniel just surveys the field. He knows he's got a 3rd and short, and hey, this young man catches a lot of footballs. He does a great job with his hands, and he's a big target, somebody to throw to, and he knows Kaufman is a very reliable target, so he has no hesitation in throwing the football to him. And Chris Kaufman, one of the top tight ends in the country with Martin Rucker, and one of the best pairs you'll see in college football.
Don't get peculiar in Missouri. So Kaufman, 6'6", 245. He led the Big 12 tight ends in catches last year with 58. Give it on the reverse. There's a wall. Left side. Macklin's in. Touchdown, Missouri. They are back in the game. The reverse works with Jeremy Macklin.
Now, we saw this earlier in the football game. Same time, same play, same execution. And Jeremy Macklin running around the edge, getting good execution up front for him, and can have the back getting the football here. And then he's going to have to get Jeremy Macklin coming around this side and give him the football. Chase Daniels going to come out there and block as well. So good job of just getting around the edge, and Austin English can't get there.
Very important extra point try coming up with the Tigers to make it a 6-point deficit. Wolford splits them, and now all of a sudden, will that be a big factor? The miss by Garrett Hartley. It is only a 6-point ball game and homecoming weekend in Norman with 4:41 left in the 3rd. Brand new ball game in Norman. 4:41 to play in our Aflac trivia, and a real good one tonight. the 4 players combined, Missouri and Oklahoma, in both the NFL and College Football Hall of Fames. I know one from Missouri right away. And it's an easy one. Oklahoma, there's a list, but you've got to be in both. 23-17 as the punter cross it will kick it away. Joaquin Iglesias is going to be over to the near side. DeMarco Murray over to the far side. So a couple of home run threats for the Sooners. The wind is going to be in the back. Mizzou's kicker, senior from Liberty, Missouri. And at the 2, it'll be Joaquin Iglesias, their wide receiver. A lane to the right. And a big lane for Iglesias, tripped up from behind and going across the 40, lost the football at the end of the play. Missouri covered it. Will they say he's down or not?
They didn't call it down. The ball came down.
And it looked like Franklin, the wide receiver, came up with the football. The bottom of the pile for Missouri, it is Franklin.
Just see the contact here where the football comes out. He's trying to cut it back against the grain, and the ball pops out just as he's going down to the ground. I think there's going to be a fumble for sure, and Missouri's going to get the football here inside of right outside the 45-yard line. He's hitting the contact here. We'll see the ball come out. The ball's coming out definitely before he's contacted, and Missouri jumps on top of it.
And he's actually, there are 2 number 2s for Missouri, and that's Connell Davis. So all of a sudden, Chase Daniel and the Tigers have the football, looking for the lead at the Oklahoma 46.
Bob Stoops is calling timeout here. I think he wants the officials to take another look at this, even though he's not using his challenge flag.
We'll take a break as well. We've had a few tonight. It did appear that the ball was slipping out before the knee hit the ground. I got a feeling we'll see it a few hundred times before we come back, though. .431 left in the 3rd. And we're going to keep it right here. Gerald Wright, you need to turn on the microphone. We've had a little bit of everything tonight. First of all, he's upside down because LSU was upset by Kentucky. Now Gerald Wright says, I'm headed over. I need help from the booth. It'll be a booth review in a 6-point. 4:31 left in the 3rd, and without the referee's microphone working, we did not know at the time, but it was a challenge by Bob Stoops in Oklahoma. So they could potentially lose a timeout if the play stands.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. Oklahoma will be charged with timeout. First down, Missouri.
So the Tigers get it. Now, special teams under 9 years of Bob Stoops have been exceptional, as good as you'll find in the Big 12. This year, they've had some breakdowns, though. Remember the Colorado game? They were up by 7, and Reggie Smith lost it. Colorado tied it, won it in overtime off that muff punt.
Yeah, you got to secure the football. The ball's knocked out there, no doubt about it. Missouri, the benefactor of it, getting on that ball. And those are things that Bob Stoops would like to clean up for sure. They had a great return out past the 45-yard line, but giving it back to Missouri.
So the Tigers on first down, fake the reverse, throw it deep down the middle, wide open, and off the fingertips of Derek Washington. That's a touchdown if he's led properly.
Derek Washington is wide open. Great play fake, and he just comes out of the backfield. He's a tailback in the football game for Missouri, and Chase Daniel just lets one get away. Here's going to be Washington's going to come right down the seam and run right by the linebacker. Nobody covering him, and the ball a little bit overthrown.
You don't get chances like that, Gary, very often. A blown out assignment by Oklahoma. So Missouri does not take advantage of it. Instead, they'll run it with Washington. And breaks the initial tackle around the ankles, but it's only squirting free for a couple. Down to the 44. It'll be 3rd and 8. Missouri has been a different team on 3rd downs ever since the first quarter.
I remember coming into this football game leading the nation on 3rd down percentage at 59%. And Oklahoma's defense, though, has been pretty stout tonight.
And Oklahoma's defense 3rd best in the nation at defending on 3rd down. So multiple substitutions for the Tigers, including Macklin on the top side of your screen. He's one of 3. Over there with Franklin and Alexander. Out of the gun. Daniel Hits the tight end Rucker, breaks the tackle for the first down. And Reggie Smith thought he had him wrapped up. Otherwise, he's not going to get the first down, shy by a couple.
Well, he's too big to get down by one person. You're going to need to bring more people to the point of contact, and Reggie Smith doesn't hold on to him, and Nick Harris kind of winds up making the tackle here, but trying to get him there over the top and didn't get him down initially on that contact. And he's too big and powerful. That's what you want with your big tight ends outside. That's why you do that with this offense.
Daniel bringing Washington into the backfield. It'll be first and down to the 34. Bring a fourth man into rush. Now Daniel sees the lane over to the left side and rolling for about 5 down to the 29. This was an area of the game that did not exist for Missouri in the first half at all. He did not use one of his great assets, his footwork.
Well, I think that he sees the field a lot better now. He sees the pressure from this side. He's going to take that lane right back right here. He sees an opening there and does a good job of getting up there, and he just decides to save his body instead of taking the contact from Nick Harris and Reggie Smith. Nice job by Chase Daniel getting 5 or 6 yards for his first down attempt.
It'll be 2nd and 5. Fake it in the reverse. Fire it underneath, and it's the tight end again. Daniel with a bullet right down to the 17 for Kaufman.
Well, you're only rushing 3 defensive linemen here by Oklahoma, and what they're doing is they're pulling a guard out every single time to get right in front of Chase Daniel. He picks up the immediate rusher. Watch the guard come around the outside, and he's going to pull out block right here, so it gives Chase Daniel a firm place to line up and stand there and throw, and he fit it into that tight end there in the slot, no problem.
It's an adjustment, bringing Ryan Madison in his 15th career start. That left guard you're talking about over. There's a convoy for Daniel. Missouri tries to tie it or take the lead. It's at the 16 of Oklahoma. And a big lane up the middle with a scat back Jimmy Jackson at 5'9", 200 pounds. He lunges for 4, almost 5.
Well, Dave Christensen is the offensive coordinator for Missouri, and he made some adjustments at halftime. When he came out with this 3-down lineman, he said, "Hey, we got to attack this a little bit differently." And instead of 4-down linemen, Oklahoma's gone with a 3-down package here, putting 3 linebackers in the game and an extra defensive back. So a lot of nickel and dime packages for Oklahoma against a spread open offense.
They bubbled 4 and bunch on the wide side of the screen.
4 guys out here.
What a formation for Missouri. And up top, the single is William Franklin.
They called it diamond.
And Daniel is going to use a very valuable second half timeout. But key sequence coming up for Missouri. So we'll keep it right here on a second and about 6 for Mizzou. They've got it at the 12. This is all an opportunity again, points off a turnover. The first 7 of the game came exactly like this on a short field, 38-yard field.
And you're seeing some execution right now by Chase Daniel in this offense, going ahead and finding some ways to defeat this defensive scheme that Brent Venables is deploying out there with the Sooners.
Let's check in once again downstairs. Emily Jones.
Well, guys, it is time to name our Jax Links Wild fan of the game. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Soonerman! They're called the Soonermen, and they wear capes. And you know what? Their kryptonite is Jack Links beef jerky. Right, guys?
Yeah, that's right! Well, if she needs extra protection, she's got it.
She's found some friends, no doubt about that. Great atmosphere here at On Field, and
yeah, it's one of the great places to watch college.
No doubt about that.
85,000 homecoming weekend, and a spectacular night.
Missouri getting down on the ground right now in the second half. 42 yards in the first half, only 15 yards. So kind of changing things up a little bit here against Oklahoma.
Same formation for Mizzou.
And a 4-down line here by Oklahoma, changing things back up against Missouri.
Daniel looking back over to the sideline. The gun. There's the little bubble screen. It's complete. Down to the 5 inside the 4. 1st and goal. So Missouri went to Tommy Saunders for only the 2nd time tonight.
Well, if you got these big guys outside, you want to block with them. That's Chase Kaufman and Martin Rucker, 2 tight ends that are 260 pounds apiece outside. And these guys are blockers right here and right here. These are going to get on these defensive backs. It's kind of a mismatch. He just runs right up here and does a good job of getting in there. It's an excellent job of play calling and well designed by Missouri, and Chase Daniel knew what he had when he saw that formation.
Daniel has Jimmy Jackson in the backfield. Now comes over to talk to Martin Rucker. Talk about a leader on the field, like a coach. Running in the option. Jackson finds a little crease. Bolts, he's in. Touchdown, Missouri. A lot of time left, but Mizzou a point away from taking the lead against the Sooners.
Well, the adjustments they made at halftime have paid off. They've done a good job here of execution and a good job by Chase Daniel getting it outside. He saw the lane there, and he just squirted through there. Wasn't a Sooner able to get to him before he can get that 4 or 5 yards for that touchdown. Nice job of answering off the turnover by Missouri.
It's a 4-yard touchdown run. The junior from Caruthersville. Huge extra point now on the high snap. It's up. And Mizzou, by virtue of a missed extra point by Hartley of Oklahoma, is on top of the Sooners. 90 seconds left in the third and eternity remaining in Norman. Marco Murray bringing the kick from the goal line, slowed up at the 25, breaks it across the 34 out to the 35. Turnovers and the way that these two teams have capitalized off the opposition's mistakes.
Yeah, you benefit.
Really critical.
Yeah, last year was the favorite of Oklahoma, but now you look at it here, Oklahoma, the 2 turnovers and the 14 points for the Tigers, and Missouri 10 points allowed. So that's the story so far in this football game with the 24 points on the board.
Good field position for Oklahoma out to the 34 on the Murray return. So Missouri's got their second lead of the game. If you joined us late, they were up 7-0 after an Iglesias fumble after a reception. Mizzou went 38 yards, little slip screen out to the tight end, and not much available on the far side. Gresham took it. He's got about 3 up to the 37.
Nice job by Brock Christopher sliding outside there and making a tackle for a short gain. Oklahoma's got to find to get back in a little rhythm here. Sam Bradford was hot in the first half and throwing the ball very accurately. He's had a couple of miscues, though. Hasn't been as sharp here of late.
Well, he was the difference maker in the first half. He dominated for Oklahoma because they had no ground game whatsoever. And still Oklahoma only 35 yards on 19 carries. It'll be Alan Patrick. Man, Alan Patrick taking tacklers with him for a good ride. He's short of the first down by about 1.5 yards.
Just committing to the run there with Alan Patrick on the weak side here off the offensive line and just pounding it in there. And big guys are coming off here, and you take a look on the left side and they're getting it done. Brandon Walker out there, number 73, the big guard, trying to make a hole inside there for Alan Patrick, who's a senior tailback here for the Sooners.
So key third down, momentum-wise for Oklahoma, and it may come as they change ends of the field.
Time expire here for the quarter, so the Sooners are going to get the wind here for the fourth quarter.
So a different Chase Daniel and offensive group of Missouri Tigers. But all of a sudden, Daniels started putting the ball on the ground. He started giving a different dimension to the game for Missouri. And they ran the option a couple of times. He's been on target through the air as well. And Mizzou through 3 has the lead on Oklahoma. We get ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Welcome back once again, Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, and our Aflac Trivia. The 4 in the NFL and College Football Hall of Fame. Missouri and Oklahoma. Well, Kellen Winslow stands out from Mizzou, and you and I agreed on that. Roger Worley, the safety, who played for the St. Louis Cardinals as well, and Leroy Selman, along with Tommy McDonald for the Sooners. That being both, that was the kick. Now, huge third down for the Sooners, trailing by 1. Third and a little less than 2. Bradford. Quick when Iglesias has it. He's got a first down to the 45. Give him the 46.
Well, when Sam Bradford's had to go to a receiver tonight, he's certainly gone to Joaquin Iglesias. Got a lot of confidence in him and good little stop and go route here. Just get out there 2 to 3 yards, come back to the quarterback, and that's good timing.
And he's got a career high now in completions with his 21st on 28 tries. A little more than 240 yards in passing. So they've got it at the 47. Short field basically after the good return by Murray. Big hole Alan Patrick. Slowed up but not put down. And he's close to another first down. He's got it inside the Missouri 43. Now that's been non-existent tonight for Oklahoma. The ground game.
A little zone run there, and he just cuts it back against the grain. Starts on the near side and watch him work backside as the defense pursues. And Brock Anderson doesn't make the tackle. Brock Christopher doesn't make the tackle in the first line of attack there, line of the defense.
You know that old line from the Eagles. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Missouri hasn't won here since 1966. It has been that long for the Tigers. They're up by 1. Good play fake by Bradford. Now ball batted down. Man, it's incomplete.
There's no whistle on the field, is there?
Been quiet, hasn't it?
I didn't hear a whistle on that. Ball was knocked down, and
there was pressure.
awful
Weatherspoon came in off the extra rusher, the linebacker. Did he get a piece of it?
The play action fake here to Patrick, and he's throwing a ball, and it's coming down. Is that
yes,
Weatherspoon on the outside? Yeah, with his left hand knocking the ball down.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma. Keep Patrick in the backfield. Trips for Sam Bradford. That includes his tight end, Jermaine Grisham. Fire it for Manuel Johnson, getting blocks downfield and right at the marker. He lunges, and I think he's got the first down because he was lying on a Tiger. And that's why we didn't hear a whistle originally. That was a good look down there, wasn't it? And I think he's got the first down.
They did this play earlier in the ball game where they bring these guys out here and block, and then you get the back and go here by the receiver. And he gets in the zone there. Good job of blocking outside by the receivers. You got Jermaine Gresham, number 18, getting a good seal block inside.
Now Bradford, 22 of 30 for 250 yards. He's been the source of almost all of their offense tonight. They have 300 yards and 250 from Sam Bradford, the redshirt freshman. Already close to field goal territory. And that would give the Sooners a lead. Good pocket protection. Pretty lane to throw. Overthrows it and almost caught for a touchdown by Johnson. Should have been picked off by Pick Brown.
Yeah, Pick Brown had that ball in his hands. That ball should have been intercepted by Missouri, no doubt about that. Had an opportunity to go against him right there. This is the second ball that was in Pick's hands tonight, and Sam Bradford trying to get to down the middle of the field here. Overthrows his receiver, Manuel Johnson, there, and Pick Brown, wow, let one get away.
Johnson almost had a touchdown. Yeah, the first down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Live better with savings, up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It is all about the O. 2nd and 10. Sooners at the Mizzou 33. Run it, and not much there for Chris Brown. Broke the initial surge at the line. Then shut down to the 30. A gain of only 3.
I know the Sooners would like to get more than just 3 points on this, but they're definitely in field goal range and trying to get some run game established here in this drive. Chris Brown in the action. He's probably got the most yardage rushing the football, I think, for the Sooners tonight.
Now, one of the biggest third downs of the night for the Sooners. They're 7 of 10. But this could make it a very cozy field goal try if they get it inside the 23. Tigers show a blitz. Free safety Moore backs off though. And they will bring it. Pressure comes wide open out of the wing. It's complete. Chris Brown, the running back. And he's got a first down outside of the 18.
Yeah, good adjustment, good play design that time by Oklahoma, getting Chris Brown out into the pattern. He's a tailback here, just going to work up to the outside and get out there. Linebacker Christopher can't get out there to get to him.
Yeah, they picked up the blitz. Moore tipped it off early. And he got clogged up in the congestion. 1st and 10 at the 18. He'll keep Brown in the backfield. And left tackle Phil Lodeholt, the tallest to ever play football at Oklahoma. He can't hide, can he, at 6'8"?
Now the big fella out there just got a quick start, and he knows it too. We're pushing back 5 yards.
Tail of the tape for Lodeholt. Big boy. And college, first of all, Garden City, a JUCO guy in Kansas, because Colorado had looked at him right out of high school. He ended up at Oklahoma after playing at Garden City. So it's going to be 1st and 15. Mark it back outside of the 23, close to the 24. And out of the edge, good run, Chris Brown, and barely bumped out at the 11. So they get the 5 back and an extra 7.
Joe, you talked about Phil Lodeholt out there on the left side, and he's a big tackle. And watch him just kind of clear things out down inside here. This is a good seal block inside, and got a linebacker coming in there. He does what he needs to. Take him inside and read off that, and Chris Brown does the rest.
Washed him down very effectively. So it'll be 2nd and short. 2nd, a little more than 2. Sooners trying to regain the lead. We are early in the 4th. Inside of 13 left in regulation. Brown bouncing out. Back in. And will he be denied? Just barely. Down to the 1. 1st and goal, Oklahoma. He's done the work on this drive.
Well, when you got to commit to the run, go to Chris Brown inside. He's doing it for him tonight. And Sam Bradford hands off to him, and the big guy's up front getting something going for him. And he just contacts a defender and kind of runs through him.
And he's kind of the forgotten guy, let's face it. Hatford has been their go-to guy to start games. DeMarco Murray, their number 2, and he's been the spectacular big playmaker. So Brown has not seen that many snaps, but he's featured on this series. In the eye on 1st and goal, Brown left side. He's in. Oklahoma takes the lead.
A very workmanlike drive this time by the Sooners, coming down the field and using the run game to help themselves out here in this series. And Sam Bradford being efficient, but Chris Brown get it done on the ground, and the big guys up front making some room for him.
You got to believe they're going for 2 now. Only up by 5. Trying to make it a 7-point game with 12:26 to play. And they will keep Bradford in the offense out there. So this could tell us a lot about the tail end of this game. 2-point conversion try coming up for Oklahoma. Where they ran it, do they keep it on the ground? Tight end in front of Brown. Now they shift. And Megan Murray in the backfield. Instead, Bradford back at the end zone, deflected. And it was available for Malcolm Kelly.
Yeah, knocked away by Van Alexander, the linebacker. Did a good job of knocking that ball out so they couldn't catch it.
So Oklahoma responds. Doesn't get the 2, but still leads the Tigers by 5. It is picked up considerably in Norman, Oklahoma. 5-point lead for the Sooners. Well, our Saturday triple header will continue right after a matchup here on homecoming weekend. The Huskies of Washington trying to knock off 13th ranked Arizona State. The Sun Devils, one of the great stories this year in college football. Dennis Erickson, better believe he can coach. That'll be right after our matchup in high definition here on FSN. Arizona State 6-0, 3-0 in Pac-10 play. So in a real good position. And Cal right now at home late in the 3rd. Cal, which could be number 1 in the nation with a win, trailing Washington State 20-14. It's killing them on Taiwan Dillon Berkeley. Will it be returned? No. Over the head of Macklin. And it gives us an opportunity as Mizzou will get it to their own 20 for a Dr. Pepper game break. And boy, oh boy, at home. And it is Oregon State, not Washington State. At home. That is difficult. Now Chase Daniel on 1st down. He wants to run it. Can he get out? No. Pursuit caught up from behind. And an outstanding play from behind. He never saw it coming by Alonzo Dotson.
Now we're seeing the adjustment here that Missouri has chosen to do, and that's kind of roll the quarterback here to get to the backside outside of the pocket and try to make something happen here with his feet or throw the ball down the field into a window. And that was an adjustment we saw that Dave Christensen had made with these Tigers coming out here in the 3rd quarter. And Sooners now going back to a 4-down lineman approach here to combat this spread offense.
2nd and 10 for Daniel and the Tigers, trailing by 5. Will they give it? Yes, and they'll lose it. Macklin lost it. Lofton's got it. He's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Well, you got to make plays with people coming around the pocket. You got to just make sure of that handoff. And I'm not sure that Jeremy Macklin knew that he was going to get the football. I don't know if that was a read play or actually a fake design to him, but Lofton nonetheless does a good job of picking that football up and getting into the end zone for the Sooners. Huge play on a turnover to score by the defense.
They're celebrating as the momentum has changed big time for the Sooners. Lead by 11. And Bradford stays out there for another 2-point try. Somewhat of a confused look from the Sooners quarterback. So disastrous series for Missouri. They run it successfully with Macklin going on the reverse. That time, poor exchange. And it will cost them 6 and potentially 8. Brown to the backfield. Out of the gun. It's knocked away as they went to the tight end, Jermaine Gresham. It's still, though, an 11-point lead. 2-score game with 11:40 to play. So Curtis Lofton of the Sooners, the junior from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. The big play as we'll come back with this. 12 unanswered points for the Sooners of Oklahoma very quickly. Brings us our Keystone Light, always smooth moment. And Curtis Lofton, once he saw it, he didn't waste any time, Gary.
No, it was smooth on his part. He knew what to do with the football, pick up a fumble and get into the end zone. And a big turnover, points off turnovers now critical in this football game and going away for Oklahoma.
I don't think Macklin ever thought it was coming his way, because that's an option for Daniel.
Yeah, he never thought he's going to get the football. But Chase Daniel, I don't know if it was a mental mistake on his part or just what was going on in that play, but certainly Jeremy Macklin did not have the posture that he was going to get the football.
And last year, Mizzou gave up 17 points on 4 turnovers to Oklahoma in a 26-10 loss in Columbia. Now as Hartley kicks it away, and he's going to be feeling a little bit easier after the missed extra point. He'll be over the head of Macklin and out of the end zone. So Hartley's done a good job with the touchbacks. Downwind and keeping one of the great return men in college football today right out of the game. No frustration, but time on the Mizzou sideline. They do have 2 timeouts left. Used one early on that touchdown drive when they took the 24-23 lead. 2 timeouts apiece, in fact.
It's a 2-score lead, though, by Oklahoma. So Missouri's got to get the ball down the field, put it in the end zone, or get some points here at this drive and play some defense, get the ball back. And it's kind of a tall order right now.
Daniel with Jimmy Jackson flanking him. Jackson, nothing doing. Spinning away from one and running right into Lewis Baker. Losing a yard, in fact.
4-down lineman rush this time by the defense. They're going to come this way and watch this outside rush here. So they're running right into the running lane where the running back is running. So Jackson has nowhere to go on that play.
You know, we talked about Chase Daniel as a point guard, a distributor. I think he needs to take it upon himself to hold on to it a little bit more. When Mizzou moved downfield, he was running the football and throwing the football. They have not had a consistent ground game from any of their tailbacks tonight. A little diamond at the bottom of the screen. And Daniel looks one way, goes the other way, and loses the football. It's out of bounds out of 8. It'll still belong to Missouri. It was not covered. And that's a break for Mizzou.
Yeah, quarterback draw here to get Chase Daniel out of the pocket. And he fakes one way, and then he comes right up here and see where the ball pops out at from the backside. And see who actually pulled that ball down.
Lucky ran to the short side of the field.
Yeah, if he was out in the middle of the field, that ball would be out in the middle of the field. Somebody would be jumping on it. Maybe a turnover again. Critical 3rd down here from Missouri. They've got to get execution with 3rd and 9. They have not thrown anything really vertical down the field tonight. Everything's been horizontal passing.
Yeah, what about one of the tight ends? They'll run Earl Goldsmith. They join Daniel. Over the middle, it's available, and it's Alexander. Breaking a tackle, gets a block, and he's got a 1st down. Inside the 45, Denario Alexander.
Yeah, big target out there, 6'5", 210-pound sophomore. Had an injury to his left wrist a couple weeks back against Illinois, and good job coming down the field here, and he's just going to work down the sideline and get around the defense. Lindy Holmes kind of shuts down there, doesn't run with him through the zone, and a missed tackle. I think that was Reggie Smith coming over, misses that tackle on him.
But as we mentioned, 2-score game if Missouri can get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Spread the defense again. The reverse. Will it work this time with Perry? Runs up the back of Daniel, and he's dropped for a loss. Jared Perry put down for a loss of 5.
You're probably wondering, saying, why is Missouri doing the gadget plays, doing the ends around, the reverse things? And, you know, this is actually the style of offense that they run. They do this half a dozen times a football game. Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, puts these in, and this is just kind of a staple for them. And they try to use these plays to their advantage. Obviously, that was well played by Oklahoma.
But it's a speed defense they're facing in Oklahoma. Sideline to sideline, these guys can move. One of the best defensive units in the nation. Daniel in trouble and on his way down. English, 2nd sack of the game, 8th of the year.
Well, we talk about getting Chase Daniel uncomfortable in the pocket. And this is exactly what happens. A 3-man rush here, move to the sideline. They bring one of the linebackers off the edge, and English there just taking the inside charge and working his way to the quarterback.
It is getting away from the Tigers. It's back back at their own 41. And they're looking to third and a little more than 24. And he finds another big play like he had with Alexander. Needs time. They wash him down, so he does have a pocket. It'll be a dump off. And not much available across the 45 for Earl Goldsmith. There's a little more room for the punter.
Good job in the secondary by the Sooners and not allowing a big play here. And they're just playing back. They'll give up this short throw out of the backfield here, and they'll come up and make this tackle and force a fourth down in a punt situation. Missouri didn't get anything going on this drive, and they're going to need to play some defense and turn it around and perhaps get a turnover themselves or stop things here pretty quickly.
It'll be Crossett punting it away. Missouri coming in with their highest ranking since 1981. And for it seemed like a minute as Reggie Smith took it over the shoulder inside the 5. He's lucky to get back to the 10. But a mistake by the return man. And let's see what Oklahoma does. Time, though, working against Mizzou. 8:32 to play with Oklahoma up by 11. If Missouri is going to make a game of it, they need either a 3-and-out from Oklahoma or have to scrape the ball away. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones back in Norman. Mizzou with 2 timeouts, same as the Sooners.
On the Sooners, I'd put Chris Brown in the backfield and run him downhill. Except we got Alan Patrick in the backfield. They got a fullback in there or tight end, one of the tight ends trying to do the power run game, I would expect.
Let's see if they can chew up some clock. That would be the ultimate for Oklahoma. Number 5 team of the nation. Alan Patrick was lugging his way for about 3 up to the 13 as we check in with Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, guys, when the Sooners sprinted out to that 4-0 start, Bob Stoops used the term robotic to describe the way his team went about its business. I asked him if he's still seeing that, week 6 now into the season. He said, I didn't see it in that 4th quarter against Colorado, but clearly they learned something there. And he said maybe it's because things came too easy in those first 4 games, and a lot of those starters were not playing in the 4th quarter. They learned their lesson at Colorado. They followed it up with a nice performance against Texas, and it seems like they've got that killer instinct here in the 4th quarter against Missouri as well.
All right, Emily, they made the plays they needed to, and especially Sam Bradford down the stretch in the Texas-Oklahoma game at the Cotton Bowl last week. Gresham, the tight end, sets up. And offside Missouri. Patrick shut down. So free 5 for the Sooners. Mike Goldberg and a Dr. Pepper game break. Mike.
Hey, Joel, for number 2 Cal, Nate Longshort's out. Kevin Kiley's in at quarterback, and Justin Forsett remains a force. Cal has regained the lead, 21-20 in the 4th quarter. Forsett nearing 150 yards on the day. If Cal wins, they will be the new number 1 team in the nation.
And the level of competition, thank you, Mike, has been severe this year in the Pac-10, and Cal beat a very good Oregon team on the road in Eugene.
Wow, things have just kind of shaken up here in the last 2 to 3 weeks in college football season. Who would ever think that Cal would be number 1 potentially at the end of week 7 in their
Joe Cap would have given him a vote. That's also one of the classic places to watch college football. Looking across the bay at the city of San Francisco, and you're in Berkeley, that looks the same as it did in 1969.
And the clock is ticking away here against Missouri.
2nd and 3 after the mark off of 5. And Bradford wants to throw it. He wanted the tight end and throws it wide of the other tight end. Originally, he wanted to go to Eldridge, and then finally went downfield to Finley, and both were covered completely.
Yeah, they wanted to try to fool the defense for the Tigers, thinking they're going to commit to the run game and try to do a play-action pass up over the top, but well defense by the Missouri defense.
Now let's see if we see press coverage, though, for Missouri.
Well, now you've got a 3rd and short situation
here. But you only need 3.
Yeah, well, Missouri's thinking out here that, hey, we got to stop them here in this situation, get the ball back to our offense, and key 3rd down here for the Tigers.
Got to get on Iglesias, his favorite target, on the near side, and it will be press coverage from Briggs. Go the other way. Patrick spins it out. He's got a first down into the secondary and across the 30. That'll chew up another 90 seconds at least.
That was a play that was audible at the line of scrimmage by Sam Bradford. He looked out there and surveyed the defense. He saw the 4-3 alignment and press coverage on the outside, and he knows he's outnumbered at the point of attack on the front side and got enough speed to run around. A linebacker can't get back there running through. Van Alexander ran himself out of the play trying to make a play in the backfield.
Gary, neither team is going to look back at this game as a thing of beauty. Both have made a lot of mistakes. And snaps, yardage, they're almost identical.
Well, with the problems that Missouri has had defending the run early in the season, I was thinking coming into this football game that Oklahoma would establish the run game early on and be very dominant. That wasn't happening. That did not happen. But Sam Bradford was so efficient early on. That's what's been the mainstay for them offensively.
Patrick upended as he goes across the 35. So short gain, only 3, but it'll take another 15-20 seconds minimum. Sorry, even a little bit more off the clock.
See some guys just being run right out of the picture there. Center John Cooper getting a good block up front.
So a little more than 6 minutes to play. Missouri had their chances to move into the top 10. Down by 11. Tight formation with Patrick in the eye. Patrick, another short gain off right tackle. Give him a couple. Up to the 37. I'd like to welcome those of you just joining us now. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones in Norman, Oklahoma. A successful homecoming for Sam Bradford in his first career start on homecoming weekend. But he looked so poised and polished last week against Texas in the big game, and that snapped a 2-game losing streak for the Sooners to the Longhorns.
And just remember, he's just a redshirt freshman. He's only getting better every time he goes out there.
The game on the line right now, 3rd and 5. Can Mizzou get the football back? They pick up the blitz, and out in the flat, Finley won't get there. Made the grab, but a good recovery over there by Pig Brown.
It took a few minutes off the clock here, but it looks like the Missouri forces a punt situation here and can't get up to the first down. Good tackle there after the contact, and Finley is down on the turf, and you see the line there by the lines judge, or the head lines judge, to keep that clock moving.
Yeah, I would have considered a timeout. About 20 seconds off the clock already, because Finley was pushed down inbounds. And there's still 22 left on the play clock, so they can take it down to about inside of 4:20.
Yeah, and this would be actually a very wise use of a timeout, Joel. I kind of like your thinking there. And
that took 45 seconds off the clock. Easy 45 seconds. Michael Cone gets into it, and a fair catch called for as Macklin gets it back at his own 15. So let's see if the Tigers can spin some magic, try to make a game of it, at least get on the board before it's all said and done here in Norman. Any left for Missouri. Daniel has it deflected and intercepted. Picked off after the deflection. Nick Harris on the takeaway, and that'll do it for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's kind of been the answer here, the story in this football game. The turnovers here by Missouri just taken advantage of by Oklahoma. Last time out, they put the ball on the ground, and Lofton takes it into the end zone after a missed handoff there. Now a tip pass intercepted by Nick Harris. Chase Daniel trying to get the ball outside. The ball is tipped there underneath. Again, that's the defensive end has been very active tonight for Oklahoma. Austin English getting that tip ball. And Oklahoma with great field position once again to take some more time off the clock with 4:10 to go here.
They've got it at the Missouri 24. And a little counter action. It's Chris Brown who did the load the work. Don't forget, Missouri, with 90 seconds left in the third quarter, led this 24-23. It was there for the taking. They did not respond. In fact, they folded by making little mistakes deep in their own territory because field position was not a strength for Missouri in the fourth quarter. In fact, their last 3 drives started at their own 20 twice, and that last one off the pick at their own 15. You better protect the ball.
They've got to protect the football. They didn't do that. Then Oklahoma, credit them. They made the plays when they needed to.
It'll be 2nd and 5 after the run by Brown, who stays in the backfield. Brown again weaving his way for about 3 down to the 17. So 3:20 to play, clock moving. Oklahoma being kind at this juncture, keeping it on the ground. And let's look back at our keys that you talked about at the outset for Bob Stoops and the Sooners.
Yeah, overall, they need to run the football. And only 103 yards rushing in this game so far. I thought they'd have quite a bit more than that, probably pushing 200, but didn't get there. But overall, defensively, they did what they needed to do defensively. They had tight coverage on the receivers, and No touchdown passes for Chase Daniel, who's been very hot. 380 yards total offense coming in here, and be more of a physical team. Well, they've had the sacks, they've had the pressure on the quarterback, and they've gotten the turnovers here that have helped them immensely.
On third down, Brown breaks the tackle inside the 10. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
And one of the keys I talk about also is being able to tackle the runners here in this run game, and they didn't do that. You miss a tackle, that's Weatherspoon coming across. You got to make that contact and make that tackle. Otherwise, these things are going to happen to a defense. And believe it or not, I think that Missouri has played decent against the run here in this football game. But as it progresses here, you just can't miss tackles, and you do that critical times of the ball game, they turn up in points like that.
Well, the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. Never forget this one. There's a flag and a false start. And I bring it up because Chris Brown has 3 touchdowns tonight. 13 touches out of the backfield and 13 carries, resulting in 3 scores. It's a big night for a guy who's not seen that much. The first snaps went to Patrick to begin the year. DeMarco Murray all of a sudden became the go-to guy, the kid that was going to be the next one.
79 offense, 5-yard penalty, retry.
That's low hold.
Yeah, take a look at Garrett Hartley here. He kind of holds his kick and didn't hit a football, and hopefully he didn't strain a groin there or something there. Just not feeling too good after that.
It'll be a 25-yard attempt on the point after. And now another false start. How about those special teams, Bob? He is so animated.
False start.
Yeah.
97 offense, 5-yard penalty.
And we enjoy our conversations with Bob Stoops almost as much as any coach in the Big 12.
Yeah, he communicates with us. You know, he's kind of a no-holds-barred kind of a guy. Tells you where it's at.
Up front and honest. We come here and we'll see him on Fridays and for a walkthrough. He is into it. He is a very passionate guy in his 9th year, 91-20 coming in tonight. The amazing point, as that's blocked away. It's been that kind of night for Hartley.
And a flag on the play as well.
Well, the specials. And Bob was really upset. Coach Stoops was upset with Reggie Smith when he brought that punt in way inside the 10. And that's been a strength since he took over. They don't beat themselves with special teams play.
79.
Load hold again.
I'm calling holding here on the kick block team. I'm sure they're going to decline this, and since they blocked it, they take the miss. And what the hesitation is out
I think we need a booth review.
Oh my goodness.
Bob looks a little bit bewildered as well.
I don't know what the indecision is here about taking this or not taking this penalty.
That'll clear the house. Open a mic like that. It's declined. So Oklahoma will kick it off. Missouri will get it back down by 17. It's 41-24 Sooners.
Well, and Missouri's got a couple of timeouts left, but I'm not sure they're going to have near enough time to be able to get back into this football.
Well, how about this moment for Chris Brown?
Well, Chris Brown, his third touchdown on the night.
Yes.
Did a good job running the football for him and answered out there for him. Get some kind of running game going.
He only had 4 touchdowns all of last year's redshirt freshman season. He did have a start against Baylor last year, and he made the most of it. He had 169 yards on 24 carries. The only surprise tonight for Oklahoma is they did not have the balance that they've had over the first 6 games of the year.
No, they really haven't, but they've shown that they can do it in different ways, and that's what Sam Bradford, you're seeing how efficient he is with the football and his throws and his decision making. And they've got enough playmakers to get it done in the passing game. You take Iglesias out there at one receiver spot. You got Emmanuel Johnson, Malcolm Kelly. Those are big play receivers. And the tight ends that they've got, Joe John Finley, Jermaine Gresham. Those guys give you an opportunity to throw the ball around. And then you take the backs out of the backfield, catching the football. They can do that as well.
Now Hartley gets into it. And over the head of Macklin again, yes. Some may say, as we look at Sam Bradford and the growth just in this, his 7th start, that they haven't had a real pure natural arm like that since they recruited Troy Aikman here. And Troy Aikman was hurt. As remember Barry Switzer and Troy told me the story, promised they were going to get away from the wishbone once he got here. But once he got hurt, they stayed with it, and Troy went out to UCLA.
Yeah, and we showed a graphic earlier about the Big 12 championship quarterbacks that Oklahoma has had here, and 4 of them and 4 different opportunities to get that, and they've all played well. And you got to look at Sam Bradford and see how well he's playing, and you have to think that Oklahoma is definitely back in the definitely in control now in the Big 12 South, perhaps, and as far as getting to Big 12 championship game.
He's got a big league arm, doesn't he, Gary?
Yes, he's got an arm. He knows what to do with the football too.
Daniel out of the gun. Man, they just scrambled, sliding down and taking a shot from behind as he goes down at the 29. So 2:25 to play. Well, Chase Daniel's been one of the few sources for the Tigers tonight. 29 of 39 passing, 290 yards. 3rd in the nation in total offense, and you mentioned a few minutes ago Mizzou had no ground game. And almost picked, but it'll be pulled in by Alexander.
Oh, I sure thought that Reggie Smith was going to step in there and get that football, but it ball got out there a lot quicker than it looked from up here. Mario Alexander getting the football outside.
Well, to their credit, Missouri is competing at a much higher level than we have seen in recent years.
You know, they have improved too, and that's the thing we talked about with their coaching staff, that they've seen improvement from week 1 to week 2 and continuing all the way throughout the season. And they are a pretty decent football team, but this OU team, they've shown that they can do things in different ways with defense. They're well coached, and they've had a good game plan how to attack this offense. It's been pretty productive every single week of the season.
Macklin on 1st down out to the 38. And it's a bright future for Macklin. Chase Daniel has another year in the Tiger program. So Missouri is going to lose for the first time this year. They'll fall to 5-1. If any team can run a hurry up, it's Mizzou. And on the comeback route, complete for Saunders. That'll stop the clock as they run them out of bounds with a 1st down at the 48.
And even with a loss, I'm sure that Missouri is definitely going to be in the hunt for the Big 12 North race. They've still got quite a few games ahead of them with the one loss that they can still accomplish that feat.
Well, and Kansas right now in the driver's seat because of their schedule. They don't play Oklahoma, Texas, or Texas Tech. So the game on November 24th, Missouri-Kansas, if Missouri holds up their end of the bargain, it could be for the Big 12 North title.
The War's going to be played in Kansas City this year at Arrowhead Stadium.
Daniel with only a 3-man rush. Man, Jared Perry will take it back inside for a 1st down. Stops the clock inside the 35 down to the 34. So a lot of football before. Colorado's playing better this year, and so is Kansas State.
Kansas State's rebounding a little bit. And we saw Kansas State last week, and Kansas outlasted the Wildcats.
Funny how things work, though. We'll get to it after this next throw by Chase Daniel. It's Kaufman on the catch. And time now for our Kyocera wireless call to the game. The Tigers trailing by 5. Will they get it? Yes, and they'll lose it. Macklin lost it. Lofton's got it. He's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. At that point, it was only 29-24. Missouri down by 5 as they got it back at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was,
but they self-destructed.
Kind of self-destructed from there, and things just didn't go their way. And couldn't rebound. And although they're moving the football here, just not enough time left in this football game for them to fully come back. I don't think. 53 seconds to go, and down 17 points here. There's no way.
It's over.
It's over, all but the crying, right?
I was about to say before we had our Kyocera wireless call, funny how things work. We all went to San Antonio for a few days in July to get together, and we do meetings with the coaches. 4 coaches a day for 3 days. We really enjoy it because it's a one-on-one with every Big 12 coach. We all felt like it was another great year for the South. Well, the surprise has been the depth of the North and the overall improvement so far in the Big 12 North.
You know, and some of the teams, though, that we saw at the Big 12 Media Days, and they talked about and we saw the confidence. We actually heard the confidence that they had, but no one really knew about that. And what that was actually going to turn out to be. And there was definitely some confident football teams up in the north, and surprises are perhaps Missouri and Kansas and how well they've come back. And Kansas State with Ron Prince in the second year there and different things. And really the biggest surprise is kind of the collapse of Nebraska.
Yes, they have headed south in a hurry. And they're still in the north, but they're headed really far south. That's Kaufman again. And by the way, as he's got a first and goal to the 5, you just don't see old-fashioned stiff arms like Kaufman had on that last play. I know you feel for the guy down there because you were a linebacker and played at a high level. But Kaufman.
He's injured too, having to get himself off the field. So
final 36 seconds. It's only a 3-man rush for Oklahoma. Bring in Rucker. And Daniel will call his own number and chase down from behind. Even the ends, the tackles at Oklahoma have speed. That time, Corey Bennett, the junior from Roosevelt High in San Antonio at 6'2", 285. They're quick, very quick. Well, we talked about some of the movement in the north and the positive side. Kansas blew away Baylor today. Texas, no shock there. Iowa State in a rebuilding mode. How about Oklahoma State, though?
Yeah,
they were 38-0 at half.
People want to see what happened with Nebraska when they played at home, and kind of meltdown there. Oklahoma State, well, I tell you, just tremendous output there for that football team, and they needed it too. I think that Mike Gundy's team, after losing a close ball game down at Texas A&M last week, they needed that win for them and kind of gets them back in the picture of things. And
what about Tech
football ahead?
What about Tech over A&M? You're not surprised?
No, I really wasn't surprised about that one, because I'm not sure Dennis Franchione has got complete control of what he needs to get with that football team, get that team going the right way right now.
Yeah, I was down there last week, and Oklahoma State basically self-destructed like Missouri tonight. They could have beaten A&M, but they gave it away towards the end. All the numbers favored Oklahoma State, but penalties and turnovers did them in. Missouri has just used their final timeout as they've got it 2nd and goal to the 5. And by the way, that Kansas State Baylor game, that's just underway. That started late at Kansas State tonight. So 10-3 lead early is the Buffaloes. That's a nice story. Dan Hawkins with his son Cody. Little slip under, but Rucker trapped. And does he take a man for a ride? Lewis Baker is a tough customer. And Rucker almost took him in the end zone, and they will give him a touchdown. I thought he was down at about the 1. That's a gift if they gave it to him.
I didn't see that, but Rucker, yeah, he's trying to do the lobbying himself. Take a look at it here, and the pass comes inside to Rucker. He's underneath here, trying to get underneath the linebackers, and got Lewis Baker just going for the ride, as you said, Joel. And maybe he's got his right arm stretched out right there, and the ball hits right on the goal line. We may have a better shot at looking at it here. Martin Rucker come from the right side of the screen. We'll take a look at it at the end of the play. Watch his right arm. If he can get that ball on the goal line, that's what he does.
He's down.
You'd have to think that the ball, his knee was down prior to that.
Don't tell anybody. 12 seconds left.
It's going to be over.
Yeah, there's some people that were still watching for that one.
Yeah, some people that are concerned with those things.
41-31, a 10-point deficit for Missouri at the point after. And those missed extra points, it could have been a little bit more as well for Oklahoma, as they had a couple of 2-point conversions that they couldn't come up with. So the kickoff coming up from the Tigers. Snap for the Sooners, see if they cover it, and it's all over. Disappointment for Gary Pinkel, but his defense, well, they did a sound job overall against the run until their offense put them in an awful position to the end of the game with short fields because of turnovers.
But you see some strides with this program and what they're doing overall. Coming here, and not easy to win in Norman, where they're very, very good. Bob Stoops is going to go 51-2 now at home here with this football team. And how do you come in here and win? It's hard to do.
51-2, and they've just overwhelmed the Big 12 North as well. And anywhere against the North, they're 25-4. So make it 26-4. Get ready for the onside kick from Mizzou. So the scoreboard will say 418 total yards from Missouri to 387. And they should have been closer. Points off mistakes. Told the story from Missouri.
Go ahead. Hand him the football. Let's get this underway here.
Yeah, in recent years, they could not hang with Oklahoma in Norman. So they've elevated the program. Didn't take the next step tonight, but it is not that far off. And they're also keeping, as we mentioned, some of the St. Louis kids, some of the Kansas City kids, some of the All-Staters from Missouri are not going to other Big 12 schools. They're keeping them in-house.
We're waiting for the referee to run all the way down to the goal line when everyone else is at the 50-yard.
Yeah, they're going to put
a little more time on the clock here, a few seconds, a few ticks.
A homecoming complete in Norman. And a few more seconds. And then most of our audience is going to be going to our late game with Washington taking on Arizona State and the Sun Devils trying to keep a perfect record intact.
Bob Stoops electing to call a timeout here. And
he's a teacher. You can tell. And special teams are his specialty. He really takes a lot of pride.
A lot of folks are wondering why he didn't call a timeout with Colorado when that field goal kick was up. And
I asked Dave Lapham before the snap. I think we were both surprised that they left a timeout on the board.
Yeah, left one up there. I think time expiring.
Well, and the young man who hit it, Kevin Everhart, at the end of the game, was 4 for 8 lifetime. And he had never hit a field goal that long. The 45-yarder to beat Oklahoma, their only loss of the year, on the final snap of the game. That was a career best. Coulda.
All the things were lined up. Yeah, coulda, woulda, you know. Kind of in vogue now. A lot of coaches are standing at the sideline near the official and just before the snap.
Yeah, but
tell the official it's timeout. So
try to find a better coach than Bob Stoops.
I'm not criticizing.
Right.
It's football coach.
You're not going to. So the onside kick, and it's loose. It appears Oklahoma covered it, and they did. It's their hands teams out there. Iglesias, who was their leader in receiving with 7 catches for 77 yards, got one more touch out of it. 10 seconds to play. Take a knee, and it's all over. So some great games coming up down the road in the Big 12. Colorado, Kansas. That will be entertaining.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one next week. Ball game in Boulder.
One snap, and it's over. So Sam Bradford, the difference in the first half, and then down the stretch.
Yeah, and Sam Bradford was efficient with the football early in the ball game, kind of did things well, and they took advantage, though, Oklahoma did, of the turnovers that Colorado committed, and that's exactly what happened in this football game, and just kind of outlasted them at the end.
So it turns out to be a 10-point win for the Sooners as they were down. As I mentioned, minute to play third, 24-23 Missouri. Missouri did not hold up well down the stretch, but a learning experience for Chase Daniel and the Tigers, and especially on the road. For Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, our entire FSN crew, I'm Joel Myers. Thank you for joining us once again in Norman. Now, do not go anywhere. Our triple header continues. Washington takes on the number 13 team in the nation, Arizona State, in a good Pac-10 showdown. Thanks for joining us once again. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stick around for the Pac-10. It's all coming your way on FSN College Football Saturday.